No technical difficulties, everybody. It's just us talking, just casual conversation behind. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I am Alex, and I am joined by an incredibly special guest. Benjamin Snow returns, as the title says, to talk about Hogwarts Legacy. An amazing guy, amazing creator. Obviously, we've had him on the first time. It was an epic conversation. And no, I really do believe he's an amazing creator. If you guys haven't checked him out yet, which I assume we share the same audience as we all do, but his link is in the description. Just the @ sign, click it. It'll take you right to his channel. And well, yeah. So Ben, how are you? Welcome back. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it for having me. It's such a bizarre time. I feel like overall we're getting closer and closer to Hogwarts Legacy. It's now less than 80 days.
I know.
till
I
the
see your countdown. It's
I
it
know.
looks good.
As I count it down, because I release videos like once a week.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's different when I would do I don't know, reactions or showcases or whatnot. There would be something more, but
Right.
I count it down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do about 10 to 11 videos until Hogwarts Legacy comes out. That's how much we have left.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's nuts to think about when you think of just, well, what is it, 3 months? It would already have, like, when you think about it like that, it's actually insane.
It is.
And I told James, like, once we get under 100, or once we got under 100, it's honestly, it is crazy to think about. From, not if you just jumped on the bandwagon, just now, but if you've been watching it for however many years,
Mhm.
to have it come out. And again, I've said that before, like, whether it's good or bad, nobody can ever take the experience away from us this entire,
That's
you know what I
true.
mean?
That's so true. Like, um, we've been waiting, like for so many years. The
Yeah.
whole community, the whole fandom, we haven't had a good game for so long, and now there we go. We're getting it.
Yeah.
I'm so like with everything they've shown so far,
Yes.
it's so good. Like, I don't know, they have to do something atrocious to fail us and for us to
Yeah.
be, "Nah,
Yeah.
nah," so far they're making right steps.
Yeah.
It seems promising, it seems amazing. There are some little things that we can talk about later on, but yeah, overall,
And
super
well,
excited.
that's the thing. Like, this game, and for its faults, for any fault that it may have, and because I think both of us probably see it countless times. Just people say, whether it's gameplay or whatever, they just want to, like, walk around Hogwarts Castle, and there's so many people like that, that don't care, and that's totally okay. It's actually what we talk about all the time. All these casual people that casual for gaming, they don't play
Right.
games. They
Mhm.
they know the Wizarding World. They're getting their very first PlayStation since, like, PS2, just to play Hogwarts Legacy. They could care less how the combat system works. They just want to walk around the castle.
That's
And,
true.
and it's important. Like, I have to remind myself of that often, because, I look at things, differently than others, but it's nuts to think about that there are genuine people that don't care about a lot of it. They just want to literally be a student. And I hope the game gives them that. And that's going to
Mhm,
be, an
mhm.
important thing. Non-simulation, right? Them not doing the simulation. I hope there's enough stuff there to really make you feel like you are a student walking. But maybe some people just literally want to see the corridors and the glass pan. Like, maybe that's what
Yeah.
people want, and that's fine.
I feel like that, yeah, total. I mean, and my worry from the beginning
Yeah.
was that this game is gonna be just that, just
Yes.
a showcase of Hogwarts, and that's it. But it isn't. It
Right.
looks
Right.
like that there's just storylines. We get these companions that have their own story arcs. We have this open world and this whole, ancient magic and goblin rebellions. There's seems like so much. So like, but
Yeah.
besides, you
Right.
do get a fantastic Hogwarts castle visualization or
Yeah. Like,
whatnot.
recreation of it. Yeah.
So they nail all the ballparks,
Yeah.
or whatever, how you say that,
Whatever the
you
quote.
nail it. They nail it.
Yeah. And thank you for the people commenting on my Christmas stuff.
Uh,
It
I
feels good to see it. This is the first time I've seen it in the camera back at me. But all right, so Ben,
Yeah.
it's almost as if they knew, right? I mean they know us, they watch our stuff. We get pat on the back all the time. They knew we were going live, and so what did they do? Is they gave us a professor that we did already know, but now they really set her in stone.
Right.
And now there's a couple things that I saw just off the jump of people commenting. So I'll ask you, like, what do you think about her? I'm gonna pull her up. We'll do, like, the share screen, then we'll talk about her.
Okay,
But
okay,
what'd
okay.
you think of the announcement today?
it's fun. Well, okay, first of all, we get a pronunciation. It's Hecat.
Okay.
Finally, because I saw in one of the comments, Chandler responded to someone. It's like
Oh, he
heck
finally did it? Okay.
and ut. It's like heck and ut, Hecat.
Okay.
So now we know because I was calling Hecat.
Yeah, yeah, I
Just
didn't know.
Hecat.
I honestly didn't know either.
I like that. It's kind of cute. But yeah, so she's from the Department of Mysteries.
Yes.
So we might be asking some advice from her
Yeah.
about mysteries or things like possibly ancient magic, just because I feel like that's something that she would be in a way. oh, um she would have some intel about that, I
Yeah,
feel like, and or possibly goblin, like why she stopped working there
right.
at a ministry. She guys kind of retiring and stuff. But yeah, it seems like an interesting, like innocent old lady, but I feel like
But
she's gonna
one
be
who
a
likes to get,
badass.
like, her hands dirty as the ending,
Mhm.
hands-on teaching.
Mhm.
So, one thing that's funny before I go into a couple things I noticed, one thing that's funny is that this really comes right off like, last week, Expecto Go, James, right? They were going back and forth on Twitter with a couple other people talking about the Ministry of Magic and the Department of
Oh.
it's actually very odd that I don't think they planned it that way, but it's odd that because a theory with our character, and you and I can get to this too, is the ending of the game, and we've kind of touched upon it here and there. Like, what do you do with the character for lore? You know what I mean? Like, why has the character never been mentioned before? How big
Right.
can the ending be without stepping on the feet of what would come after? And a common thing that people will say is, well, put them in this little department in the ministry, and then you're not allowed to talk about anything. And it's funny
That's
that
true.
that theory was kind of making its way online last week, and then she's literally from that department. So as to what your point, what you just said, I think she's gonna. Now we know all the professors are gonna actually be a pretty integral part. She seen. I don't know if she like. Do you lead with her because she's the most important, or you just like reached into a hat and picked? But the fact, like you said, that she's from there, maybe she knows a little something about our ancient magic. You know what I mean? So that's something that's actually kind of odd. One other thing I noticed, somebody had mentioned in the books, I think, based off of timeline,
Mhm.
so like 1890s where we're at, there's a
Mhm.
professor, I don't remember the name, but they taught Defense Against the Dark Arts for like 50 years, and they started in 1895. So she can only be there for 5 more years. Now she's retired, she's old. I
Mm.
wonder, I don't want to get too dark too quick, but I wonder if you did a battle for Hogwarts, if she could actually be a casualty of it. Because
Hello.
because,
Hello.
you'd be in 18. I know it's actually a very dark place to go immediately with this
Uh,
character, but, you end in 1891, and then 3, 4 years later, you'd have a new, and I'm not, the curse doesn't apply. People are kinda confused of that, so, like, the one-year thing isn't there yet.
yeah, yeah.
She could be there for the next 5, but I wonder, she's old, she seems pretty integral in the ministry, in the past. I wonder if, you take her out, I don't know.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point, I feel like, because I have a few questions written down here, and one was, "Who do you think is gonna die in the
No,
game?"
okay, nice.
So, that makes sense. That makes sense why she were to stop working at, Hogwarts. Maybe she'll get a portrait or something like
Right.
that later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and also Battle of Hogwarts. I mean, how real is it? How real
Yeah.
is it? I know
Yeah.
I made a video about it, but I'm still like, is it really there? Like, oh,
Well, what do you think? I think there will be an actual battle where I mean, I've always kind of assumed that the box cover or box art
mhm,
is that final, all the different creatures, ascending on Hogwarts at the same time. That's
yeah.
honestly what I envision it
That's
being.
that's the same thing. That's the same
Yeah.
because it's like the narrative that Hogwarts is in danger.
Yeah.
The ancient magic is in Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Underneath Hogwarts is that there's like it's somewhere there, the source of it. So yeah, it's pointed at it. The question is, how big is it gonna be? Like,
Right.
is it gonna get as climactic, as destructive as the one like
Right.
in the 90s?
Yeah.
Or is it gonna be it's gonna be a battle, they're gonna be duels,
Right.
but Hogwarts is not gonna be, like, completely
Right,
destroyed or
yeah,
leveled,
yep.
you
I'm on the
know?
same wavelength where it's like, can you now I've looked at it as because if you're like a fifth year,
Mhm.
and you end the year, like the game ends as a fifth year, like maybe you go back to school, or if you're evil, maybe you get kicked out, or however they do it. But like, yeah, the school can't be in ash. It's it can't be
No.
torn
No.
down. It's got to be standing. So yeah, I feel like a lot of this stuff they'll want to get inside it, but I assume like the battle will be fought, like right outside where it's not going to damage the school too badly. Plus, you have to think of if there's end game stuff and where you put our character at the end. Would you want the school to be? And there are some games that do that where you would experience the game afterwards and everything's kind of destroyed, or maybe you kind
Right.
of pull them back before that happened. But yeah, that's an interesting one.
Because I feel like it could be a great climax at the end. And if they ever want to continue doing like a sequel or whatnot, they could like end it there and then have the sequel start with, you know, kids or students helping reconstruct Hogwarts a little bit. Just
Yeah.
kind of that's where it starts. That's where the next story can starts.
Yes.
By the way, I know there are probably questions coming up now, but yeah, I'll
I
I'll say
laughed at
one.
this one.
I'll say one. I'll say one.
Okay. Um, Well, or you go. I want to just read what's going on here. What
Do
are you
you
gonna say?
think?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into the game stuff, but do you think there will be a sequel?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Um.
explain yourself.
Um. I just think it's gonna make too much money, and I
Mhm,
think that they've put games like this cost so much, and like this is not a Red Dead, like so for people not to get full. This is not Red Dead. This is not GTA, but this game most likely costs 150 million dollars at least to make. Um, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of resources. In the same way, you're not gonna like tear it down. Like so, a recent example actually would be the team that made Gotham Knights. Their
mhm.
second game seems to be kind of a clone. It's also going to be an action RPG. So they're not even doing anything wildly different. And that's
I see.
somewhat disappointing, but also you can kind of understand it. Again, you put all this money, all this time making these like the engine or whatever that they have the stuff built in. You're not gonna change it. You're gonna keep roll. I mean, it's just the way it is now.
Mhm.
So the cancel culture stuff is definitely going to be something, but I think the sales will immediately just like punch those people square in the face, and I mean, and not maliciously, but I mean, they'll get drowned out so badly by the sales that it won't even be hopefully it won't be a
Right.
talking point. And then yeah, now the question, and it would be back at you, would be like, what do you do for the sequel? And I've always stood very firm on this because it's called Hogwarts Legacy, and that title could come back to haunt them because it has to be in Hogwarts. So you
Yes.
have to make them be like a teacher, I would assume, or a six, or
Or
if it's
or or
one
do
year,
yeah.
yeah, the next year,
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah, just
And that's the
continue
most
the
logical and easiest way, most likely, is to do that.
yeah, I personally think there could be there could be a sequel, and you now bring a point that yeah, it makes sense because, for example, Shadow of Mordor, and
Yes.
then Shadow of War, it's like expansion upon that. It's pretty much it's similar, but
Yeah.
just bigger. They took what they had and kind of expanded, and I guess, and so now it just I'm thinking about it when there's a new IP, they whatever the sequel is, it's
Yeah.
not that much different, but it's just improved.
God
Mm,
of War is a
y
really good, yeah, that one's almost a
I haven't
debate where
played it. I haven't
oh,
played
yeah.
it yet.
But I mean, that like, feels so much like a part 2, which is not a bad thing, where there's
Mhm.
the DLC, like, it's just a glorified DLC. It feels like a part 2 that you're supposed to play kinda back to back, kinda like you watch Deathly Hallows, part 1.
I
It
see. Uh-huh.
really, and I mean, it's a new thing, like, because there's a trend, right? When games, speaking of Shadow of Mordor and War, you notice it's been forever, but now they're making the Wonder Woman, so you imagine it's gonna be quite different. It'll still have the Nemesis system and stuff, but
Mhm.
it takes them forever if you're
It
gonna
does.
pivot
It
that.
yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima after Infamous took them forever because it's such a different thing. So,
Right.
if we want something other than the core of Hogwarts Legacy for their next game, give them 6 years. If we want Hogwarts Legacy 2, give them like 3, and I think they can honestly turn it around and do it.
That makes sense. That makes sense, and actually, like, when there's a title like you brought up God of War, I
Yeah.
want just more because it was such a great just
Yeah.
you don't have to do bigger or whatever, just more,
Yeah.
continue, tell more story, and I have the game, I have the code, the digital code ready. I haven't
Nice.
played it yet because, again, I've been living under a rock since
It's
for a
best.
couple
It's
of
probably
weeks.
best
Yeah,
to do for God of War, yeah.
yeah. So, so yeah, I feel like it would be cool, but you're bringing a very good point. They will have to stay in Hogwarts
Yeah.
for a sequel
I'm pretty
or
strong
whatever.
on that. Hogwarts Legacy, like you can I mean, I would like to well like I would like the opportunity if this was like as big as our imagination could go, where you could choose, right? Like the biggest choose your own thing, like you stay as a professor, or you go work for the ministry. But those
Mhm.
are way too different. You know, those are way
Yeah.
too big of choices. You have to funnel people into one of these kind of things.
Unless they change the title, like Zelda. They
True.
change every new title. It's not a Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. It's the
Right,
Tears
right.
or Tears of the
So, yeah, which
Water.
one, Ben? Which one is it? Is it Tears or Tears? Do you know?
I th- I don't
I
know.
thought originally
I
thought it
think
was
Tears.
Tears
Tears make more
at first.
sense
I thought it was
be-
Tears at first.
because tears at the same time can mean, they're little droplets of a big
Yeah.
sea. So they kind of already mean you know, a sea is tearing apart. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's in the sky and it's a cloud.
I
So,
really don't think they've never said the name still, and it's been months, so, I
well,
really
well,
that
yeah.
bugs me.
Do they ever say it out
They
loud
haven't said
ever?
it, no.
But
I
they
don't think
never
anybody
do. They
actually
just
knows if it's Tears or Tears, to be
no
honest.
one they never like
In that
have a
trailer, they don't say
narrator.
it.
It's just written.
Yeah. Classic Nintendo.
Yeah.
We had to
Which,
talk about it. We had
by
to
the
say it.
way, talking about written stuff,
Yeah.
well, that just I thought about NPCs in Zelda that are written
Yeah.
and their amazing stories going on there. What do you think of the NPC dialogue interactions from the new showcase?
Man. Okay, so where I stand on it, I actually kind of like it. I'd say overall I like it.
Mhm.
Their faces are a little, weird, but I'll get over it. It's just not like it doesn't look as good as it possibly can, but that could be polished or whatever. One criticism will be I don't like that they're just standing there doing nothing.
Mm.
So I would like, but we haven't seen too many. So hopefully throughout the whole game, you know what I mean? Like do a sport or like have somebody like on a broom, like they're getting on a broom and you walk up to them and you start to talk. So
Right.
just a little movement when it comes to what they're doing right before you talk to them. That's it. That's it. Honestly, I like that it's kind of simple, like
Mhm.
the choices. I don't really mind that. I think some games get too. I'll honestly throw Horizon under the bus for this. Forbidden West. There's a lot
Mhm.
to learn about that game, and the lore is really cool. But you can get into conversations where it's the circle, right? Like Mass Effect.
Uh-huh.
But you know how like the games will do like menus inside them, so there'll be like the one choice, and that leads to like four other choices. I
Oh
mean,
my
Mass Effect.
god.
Did that. Mass Effect or Horizon does that like on drugs. It's
Oh.
nuts.
Oh
You can
my
be
god.
talking to somebody for no joke, probably 20 minutes, just going through and that gets boring. And I really think
I would hate that. I would
yeah,
hate that.
statistically, I bet you people don't do it. Like, and they know the stats, so they would know. So I kind of respect Hogwarts is going a more simplistic. It's a couple choices. You can get a little bit more out of them if you wanted to. I'm okay with that to be real.
Yeah. I mean,
I will check super chats, guys. We'll
uh,
just finish this. Let me get Ben's opinion on it. We'll check the super chats.
I like it overall. I think it's cool. I think the voice, what I just technical thing,
I'm
it
not a
feel
fan of the main character's voice. I'll say that.
not a fan. I feel
No.
like it changes because you can like tune a lot, a
Yeah.
little, a
Yeah.
little bit,
It could just be
but
that one.
maybe. But it's like just technical. It feels like the audio's coming a bit too sooner than the visuals of the mouth movement. It happens to me. I record my video and audio separately and I have to synchronize, and it
Yeah.
just feels
Yeah.
like it's desynchronized because we start moving our mouth as a tad sooner than the because we move our muscles first to make the
Yes.
sound.
That's
So
odd when you think about it.
yeah, it's weird, it's subtle, but there it's like the audio comes and then they start moving their mouth. So it's just that little synchronization is just a tad off. But overall, I mean, I feel like when I look at NPCs everywhere in every game, I feel like they're all are awkward.
True.
It
Oh
it,
yeah.
it
Yeah. Yeah. It's a thing. Yeah.
and in some places it gets uncanny where they try hyper realism.
Right.
And here it's not. It's animation. I see it's there, so it doesn't get into the uncanny valley.
Yeah.
And so it is as it is. It's fine. I feel like the dialogues for me, it's more important. What's the story? What's going on? What
Yes.
what
Oh
what what,
yeah.
what
Yeah.
that mini quest do you have? What is that? So that's more important for me.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think, and what they even in the gameplay, like what their gameplay showcase, what they were talking about was far more interesting, and I was paying attention reading it more
Yeah,
than I cared about, their voice and stuff. All right.
right.
I do check, just in case you guys are watching for the first time, I do check pretty much everything for super chats and stuff, but we were just in the midst of it. Maybe those statues that come to life outside the castle in Deathly Hallows were created because of this possible battle. That'd be sweet. Do you know, is there lore problems there, Ben?
Hold on. Well, one second. Maybe the
Because she said she's always wanted to do it, as in it's happened maybe before, or they were always there to guard Hogwarts. So the question is, have they ever been used prior to Deathly Hallows?
oh, uh,
Those statue guard
yeah.
things.
Why? Yeah, because that's just
Well, we
priori.
see
No,
like a
that Pier Toto Locomoto is just a spell.
yeah.
I feel like yeah.
Don't we see what's the enemy that he lifts the sword and he throws the sword?
That's what I think. It looks
That's
like a
one.
statue.
Yeah,
It looks like
that's a
one of the statues.
statue like thing.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
So that could be a good thing. Hey guys, if we choose the dark path, how will that work in a sequel and how will we be able yes. Okay. I like this question a lot. I've talked about it before.
And to answer that, I feel like even though we might be dark or whatever, not at the end, it's gonna boil down to one answer, to one solution. There won't be many endings. I feel
Okay.
like I think there's gonna be one single ending. It will all bring it all there to it.
But now do you think like so say the last decision is how would we do this? See, like killing Ranrock is interesting to me because what's the difference between a good ending with so is defeating Ranrock like arresting him good and then killing him is bad? You know what I mean? And
I
if that is even the last decision of the game, there could be more decisions after that. But I think the idea with Ranrock, if you're evil, I think you kill him and then you whatever. And then if you're good,
right,
you don't kill him. You
but someone else kills him.
so you think
You
he
know what
dies
I'm
no
saying?
matter what? See, I don't know
Yes,
that.
yes. I'm just thinking about in terms of like other games. Sometimes you can
That's
make
true. Yeah, if you
whatever
don't do it,
choice.
yeah.
If you don't kill, someone else will kill him, and they'll say, "Oh,
Do you
you're
think
weak."
Ranrock's a
Plus,
character though that would die no matter what?
I think so.
Oh my god.
That's why I'm thinking like it should. If there will be sequel or whatnot, they'll bring to one ending to not overcomplicate things.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, so it's not like the Walking Dead kind of different scenarios. I would love that, but
Yeah.
that's
But
I
see
don't
the
think.
issue, yeah, the issue with Telltale's Walking Dead is like if you end it and it's too like sprawling, if it's too out there, you number one, you may have just serious difficulties making a sequel in the first place. I know I brought up like Life is Strange. Like Life is Strange shot themselves in the foot with the first game because they're so different endings, and then you have no choice but to not use the same characters ever again. So you have to move on.
Mm,
So you have
mhm,
that dilemma. What the Telltale did is they just resolve things in about 5 seconds, and it's kind of lazy because and
mm,
it's not even their fault necessarily. They wanted to have a nice big ending for the finale, and then they're like, oh shoot, well we still need to again funnel the character to the same starting point for season
mhm,
2 3 what so we have to like if we got to kill characters real fast we got to do it if we have to set it up, and that's what you end up getting.
right.
So for a big game like this, I do kind of agree with you. I think it'll be I don't know though, like the choices you make. That's why. And to his super chat, I had mentioned this, I think last week's stream. So let me throw this pitch at
Hey,
you, Ben.
Nicholas.
Let me see what you think about this. So I said my controversial theory is no matter what happens in the game, you will leave Hogwarts at the end of the game. And that is if you're a fifth year and it ends at a fifth year and you're good, you still will leave for whatever reason. If you're bad, you will leave because you were so evil they throw you out. And then if you're a seventh year, whether you're good or bad, you would obviously leave no matter what. So I feel like it kind of works the best of is it kind of encapsulates four different possibilities of how they would end the game. But what do you think about because I have seen people say, and I saw it here too. Somebody said like anthology. An anthology would be a cool idea. So like the next Hogwarts Legacy, you could still call it Hogwarts Legacy, pick another time period, pick another student, and do it again. That's then you could go wild with this ending and do whatever you want because the main character doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
That could be cool. That could I kind of like that.
I
Yeah, you
yeah, I like it too, honestly.
huh. That I
I've
mean,
seen that before, an anthology where you just go back another 100 years and just pick another time period, have another character, do it again.
oh,
You
this
know.
is all a simulation. Actually, just someone
Yeah,
time travel.
it basically be Assassin's Creed though. To
Yeah,
be fair,
yeah. Or go forward.
yes.
My
Well, people
thing,
have talked about Harry Potter
go
stuff. I mean, you.
past Harry Potter. Let Harry Potter die. Let just
Oh
forget
my
about
god.
him. Just go, like not die like someone killing, you just pass away.
Yeah,
Go past him.
yeah,
Forget about him. Go follow after what happens after that. Past
yeah.
cursed child.
But what do you think? Do you think what would be your prediction? Do you think you stay in school or you leave school?
Um,
I guess
that's
that
an
would depend on
interesting
what your
question.
sequel idea would be.
Yeah, I think that it could go either way. I feel like leaving Hogwarts could be interesting parts because it will allow a possibility for the developers like, oh, we can either, as you say, create anthology and just go back in time or forward, whatever, but without
Yeah,
those characters, or have an option of continuation of that character leaving Hogwarts and traveling to other countries,
right.
other schools or ministries, or doing something different.
Yeah, be interesting. Um, how do you
Sorry.
Sig? Oh my god, I don't know how to say your name, but thank you, buddy, for the super chat. How do you think they will handle your character's clothing during cutscenes, so you know when to wear a robe or clothes? Will companions change clothing with you for out of class missions?
Hmm. I think it doesn't. If I understand correctly, like if you change a cloak or whatnot, will it be represented in the cutscene? I think it will
That's what
because
I.
they do that in like in Assassin's Creed. I replayed the Valhalla right now,
Nice.
and yeah,
Get
they.
on with Andy.
Oh yeah. And yeah, they change it. It looks
Yeah,
all
they
different.
put however cutscene, b- because I feel like back in the day, right, cutscenes were so separate from the game that they already had them rendered, and you just kind of like slot. That's why it's the choppiness, and there's like a
Yeah.
cut. But now they're literally using the model that's right there, and they're just inserting them into. So whatever you change, you could change 5 seconds before it'll appear in that cutscene. God
Yeah.
of War, God of War, he'll wear whatever armor you have him
And it's
wearing in
very
that.
impressive.
Yeah.
And it's kind of recent mechanic, so to
Yes.
say. It's just past like a few, like
Yeah,
just this
probably the
generation.
last like PS4 generation. Xbox One was the first one to even start that. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Protego Charm, is that around the school link here? They
Huh?
could do so. I mean, if they really wanted to if they wanted to do the Battle for Hogwarts again, I do think there'll be several differences because you're not going to want to just recreate. You know what I mean? You're not going to want to make the movie into the game. You already have the
Mm.
movie,
Yeah.
so I think they'll do it different. I mean, what would actually kind of be cool is if they're like caught off guard and they don't know it's coming because they kind of knew, like everybody was really prepared. In Deathly Hollows, they had their
Mm,
armies that were like waiting for each other. I mean, to make the first move.
in
So
in the my original theory about Battle of Hogwarts was that because we choose path, I was thinking that our paths are going to be so different, but I was thinking we could either side with Renrock and help and
ooh.
attack together
Yeah,
with dragons or whatnot, and then no one's gonna know. Or if we are on the other side,
they
warn.
okay.
We already know that they're gonna be attacking. We're gonna be trying to prevent them, but we
Oh my
fail.
god.
And then warn everybody. That was my idea, but from
That's
how
big. That's big.
it could be freaking
It
awesome if
would.
they if it's like it's a different situation, but at the end,
Yeah.
you still are brought to the same kind of
Yeah.
Hogwarts wins.
Yeah.
Renrock is captured, etc.
I thought you wanted him to die. See, I
Well,
want I
captured, and then like, okay, who's
Oh, okay,
killing
okay,
him?
okay, okay.
And then
See, I wanted the professor to die, you want Ranrock to die. One of us is, more
well,
evil than the other.
I think he will. He will.
What
I
about
think.
Rookwood?
I don't know. I think he
I don't
might
think you'd
escape.
kill both.
Kill both.
I don't think you'd kill both.
No. Yeah. I think the Reinrock is gonna die, so other goblins are still gonna try to follow or like avenge him.
Yeah, yeah.
But Rookwood is gonna just kind of run away somewhere, and
Okay.
maybe eventually he becomes a Death Eater. We don't know. We don't know that name, but maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that's I could see that. And it was Hogwarts Legacy explain the anthology idea. Yeah, man, I like the idea. Is it
Oh,
it
hey!
opens it
I wish
opens
I
it
just
up.
did. Yeah.
You could do like doing a year 5, 6, 7, I mean, that would be, but I always like take the couple steps back and just because I said this during Harry Potter, like imagine those poor boys and girls that just got like screwed, and it was their years 1 through 7, the
I
same
know.
time as Harry's. Like those,
I mean, they can still go in ruins if the Skull Hogwarts get
yeah.
destroyed. Yeah.
It's just so like imagine being a student in year 5, you're just casually go nothing happens in years 1 through 4, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden this kid, whoever we choose to be, comes in and just wrecks us for 3 straight years. Dude, I would hate them. Like I'd hate Harry.
Yeah.
I would hate Harry Potter so much if I was just a casual minding my own business student. I would hate
Yeah,
him.
like, what the hell? Like, we
Yeah.
just minding our business,
Yeah.
but then this dude just
Yeah.
causing all this.
Like you cause so much stuff to follow you, but it's never their fault. Maybe it'd be like a different character, same period with the consequences of your decisions being fleshed out. Like the Dragon Age franchise, that's an interesting one. So same period of time, your character kind of retires, heads off, and you play as somebody else in that time period.
Huh.
That'd be well, you got Dumbledore. Like, would they be so bold, to do Dumbledore 2 years later? I'd say
Wow.
no, only because but see, the point of this game was that you create your own legacy, that whole slogan. That
Yeah.
doesn't have to be the point of the next game, though.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
yeah.
they could say it was one-time thing.
But, well, sorry, my dog is making weird noises. Yeah, I think they will stick to you create your character, like just whoever you want, like can you being yourself.
Yeah.
And other if they want to bring a star, a familiar
Yeah.
character, they can do that, but you won't play as because I don't know, that's being again stuck with a single storyline, so to say, because we know it already.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do that. It seems like they just don't want to be attached to something we already know
Yeah.
happens
Yeah.
in this
Well, then there
situation.
was, there's a comment earlier too about
Mm.
like why can't they do like different canons, and the simple reason they just don't. They're just
What do you
not
mean?
doing it. The whole port key games point, I believe, right, is to keep it in sync and everything kind of lines up. So,
Right. Yeah,
I,
have Wizarding Worlds and the amazing
yeah,
Wizarding World.
I wouldn't be opposed to, because I think of Star Wars, something like Star Wars Force Unleashed is an incredible game, and it's an alternate path of, he has an apprentice, Darth Vader, and you can kill them off, and well, I believe he kills off Luke, Leia, like these are so they completely destroy episodes 4, 5, 6, or at least
Huh.
5, 6.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean some of the best Star
I'm
Wars games.
down for that kind of stuff. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's like, the multiverse.
Yes.
It's fun to go bold with new storyline, yeah, I'll be down for
I kind
that.
of be down for. I mean, like, and like I do pick on certain properties if they go against like canon and stuff. I do generally like things to stick with it. But if you're making it very clear that like, hey, we're gonna have games that stick with it, like Hogwarts, and we're gonna be very respectful, and then this other one we're just gonna kind of go wild, and it's like an
Yeah.
alternate timeline. I don't really see and even like disrespect could be a thing maybe thrown around if they disrespect certain character. But also, again, it's just a completely separate thing. You could ignore it if you want to ignore it. It's interesting, but honestly, it does not seem like they're going down that path, and they won't,
No,
just because
yeah.
of
Because I feel like overall, like they want to. Well, it's one universe, and
yeah,
there's just so much. It feels like already pretty rich.
yeah,
There's so much
yeah,
mystery in different timelines and different regions, so they don't really have to do that. They can. Here's what they can do. They can just go into a different country and
yeah,
laws how that country, the wizarding society in that country operates is different from another country. There you
right,
go. That's still in the same universe, but different moral
yeah,
codes or whatnot, magic. Like Uganda, for example, in Africa, people
yeah.
they use wandless magic.
Yeah, as soon as that school was, well, not they just talked about it, and then when people started were putting up the picture, really, there's like 1 or 2 pictures of what the school looks like.
Uh-huh.
People immediately said, like, "Give us that school." That's a
Yes.
cool. You just replace Hogwarts with whatever the school name will be, and then it's blank legacy. You could do that as well,
Yeah.
and you'd be like you said, you'd be way more open because there's no way the intricacies of how the school is inside, nobody knows what it looks like, so you could just make it up.
That's true.
Um,
Yeah.
then maybe you got to talk to J.K. Rowling. Then maybe you got controversy there. Maybe it's more
But
difficult than we think.
I feel like, even though you have to talk to, but like at this
I don't
point,
care if they do. I just because of the cancel culture stuff. It's like, oh
yeah.
my god, they had to consult her. Oh dear.
But at the same time, like, yeah, they're great. See, like, oh, it's tricky. I feel like it's inevitable
Yeah.
when someone else will take over the Wizarding World, not J.K. Rowling.
True.
It happens. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Regardless of she is canceled or not. That is just, there's a point at where an author stops rewriting, but someone else has to take over the IP.
Yeah.
Star Wars or Lord of the Rings franchise has been capped through nephews, through generations.
Yeah.
Like, and finished by not not Tolkien himself, but his ancestors,
Right.
or well, whatever,
In a way.
nephews, like his family.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So
All of them eventually. Yeah, and
and
sometimes they get ruined, sometimes they don't, and hopefully, Wizarding World would be okay. But
and it's like I feel like it's just fine when someone helps this IP, because I'm rooting for the Wizarding World to continue existing, to continue evolving into different regions, so we see different stories. And so and so many times when you get fresh team, fresh minds
yeah,
to work on something, that helps actually, because it just helps.
yeah, no,
Like, look at
it's
God of
fresh.
War.
Yeah,
Balrog, Cory Balrog said himself
yes,
that he doesn't do every game after another. He lets someone else direct the
yeah,
game after
yeah,
he's done it, because he's spent emotionally, physically, energetically, creatively. You're
yeah,
burnt out by the end of one title. That
yeah,
goes same thing for the movie, for the books, for everything. So you need a break, or you
yeah.
need fresh ideas, and so they shift things
I can
around.
only
Here,
imagine people like her, like, what's it like having, like, does that wear on you where it's like, just, it's always Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter. There's only, you either kind of embrace it and like you're okay, or it eventually gets to you,
and that's my point, is like, there's a great story told, and let it be that.
yeah,
Write another story, or let someone else write another story within your world. It's gonna happen one way or another in the
yeah.
future. It's
Did
gonna
what
happen. It's just about embracing it and letting it
Was
happen.
Cursed Child written by her or no?
It was, and that's why it's. I mean,
Yeah,
she. I feel like she wrote fantastic worlds and books.
yeah,
Scripts she didn't really write for the
right.
movies,
She's
and
doing, but she did the Fantastic Beast ones a lot more heavy, and those ones obviously show that.
yeah.
You know?
So that's, you gotta kind of admit to yourself, okay, this doesn't work. Someone can do it a better job. It's not the end of the world. It's just being honest about,
Yeah, no,
just
totally.
being honest and kind of admitting the failures, and then move forward.
Yeah. Dustin, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Hogwarts Legacy 2. It's way into the future, and Hogwarts has been destroyed, and your character is tasked with rebuilding it and its legend.
Yes,
There you go.
that would be awesome. Just
Yeah.
let it in ruins at the end of this one, and then start from scratch,
It
rebuilding it.
it would be similar where, if you go ahead enough, you also reach just kind of fresh territory where nobody's
True.
kind of touched. You know what I mean? They've gone
Hmm.
far enough back where some dates, some characters, but you don't know everything. It's the same thing, really, going into the future. Like McGonagall is headmistress. You don't know how long, so you make that up. You know what I mean? It's the
Yeah.
same thing that they're doing. They're kind of inserting their own dates and whatnot.
Yeah.
Let's see. I will try to get some of these general questions, guys. Obviously, super chats, they're all colored and stuff. But if you have a pressing question, super chats, or just ask them, and I will try to get to some of them. Different school, yeah. So a lot of people. So what do you guys think? I mean, it actually seems like the whole. It actually seems like
Different school. I think it would be fantastic, but they would.
I think the
Well,
anthology thing is kind of well liked amongst fans that they
I,
don't stick with.
I
It should be
want
a
at least
poll.
at least show it, or have a cutscene.
Yeah.
of us
Yeah.
visiting someone there.
Yep.
But yeah, I want to see different schools finally, like because we only have the pictures.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
Nicholas.
Ben, somebody said about your luscious hair. I was trying to
Oh,
find it. They love your
it's
hair.
doing a mess. Thank you.
His hair's good. Um,
I'm checking questions here too because I've written down
oh,
for you.
okay. I don't think Ben and I are that separated in age, although I've never I've never How old are you? Do you care to say?
Um, I'm
Or no?
happy to say that I'm still in 20s, but that's gonna end very
No,
soon.
that's oh, okay, I'm younger than him then. So let's just throw that out there. Do you have a question, Ben, or a thing you wrote
Ah,
down?
okay, quick one.
Yeah.
Have or has your opinion about the game changed since seeing the gameplay showcase?
Oh, ooh, asking the tough question. You're like a journalist, or a real
Yes.
journalist. Um, eh, I do think it's changed because I do think, and I've tried to really again kind of catch myself where I've never looked at this game like it's like the second coming of Christ, like it's going to be like the greatest. Again, I think there's going to be some elements. I was actually telling my friend this like last night. I think there's going to be some elements, no joke, that are going to be like excellent, like elite level things. Um, I do think we've kind of walked ourselves in where we think that everything is going to be like the top of the. And I do think the gameplay showcase shows us that this is the first game they've made like this. And we got to remember that, right? I mean, we talked a lot about that actually in the beginning and we kind of forgot about it. This is their first time. And I do think there's going to be blemishes in most likely how the open world like acts and lives. I think that's going to probably be an issue where just not even necessarily talent, but just they haven't done it before.
Right.
Maybe like Days Gone is a good example. Days Gone had a core, that's the zombie one with um,
Oh yeah.
Sony did it, and but that team made Uncharted Golden Abyss on the Vita, and they went from that game, a Vita game, to a AAA open world zombie game. That was the jump,
Wow.
huge. And
Right.
there were mistakes. That game was not perfect at all. There was a lot of issues, but it set a really good foundation. The foundation, and I think Hogwarts is going to do similar. Probably be better than that though. But I do think Hogwarts is going to have a good foundation. Again, I think the visuals with the school. I think they are going to adhere. Is that probably the right word? Like they're going to respect lore like we've never seen before. The combat probably is going to be pretty good. I've always been impressed by it, but I do think with maybe how the quests work or how detailed the storyline, maybe some of that stuff I think may fall short of what people think because we all have it up here, and I don't think the whole game is going to be elite. I think parts of it will be elite, which I always kind of knew, but then seeing that gameplay showcase, I was like, all right, I do believe that more.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same area. I'm glad that we're now. It hasn't really changed my opinion since the showcase. I think it's sort of because I'm glad that they did the showcase because now we have like we can ground ourselves on something because we're kind
Yeah.
of in the air, we're floating, we don't know
Yeah.
how it works. Now we're like, okay, it
Yeah.
looks good. Looks like there are quests that there's stuff to do. Wow, cool. Now we have honest confirmations about we get to that nut
Chess.
chess stuff like that. But yeah, we're getting grounded, and I feel like that's a good thing. So we know, okay, this is what we're getting, and yeah, I'm liking everything so far.
Yeah.
Nothing, and again, they had
Is there anything that surprised you positively by the showcase?
Hogwarts,
Yeah.
Hogwarts,
Same with yeah,
Hogwarts.
me too.
It's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, and now I just wonder about the size overall of the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
scale, because it took he was, the character was running pretty fast,
Right.
and it took what, like 30-ish minutes to
And
to make a circle, because
yeah.
because the clock tower, if I'm not wrong, is like, well, I don't remember
The
what part.
draw a 3D diagram.
No, because I know the map. So like where they were in the next to the Great Hall,
Yeah.
the clock tower sort of kind of on that side of it. So they went
Yeah.
across the viaduct bridge, went inside, and then came back to the
Right.
other wing of
Yeah.
Hogwarts. So that took like 30 minutes and they didn't really stop.
Right.
I feel like that's a lot.
Yeah, I think so. And there's different levels, I think, as
Yeah.
opposed to some flat I'm not. I don't know why. Like Red Dead's the first. I mean, like you have these gigantic. It's not going to be Red Dead size, but you think of even other big open world games, but they're flat because you maybe you
Right.
go into buildings, but it's all one floor.
Right.
Whereas
Yeah.
this is going to be multiple levels, and then
It's a
that's only
castle.
Hogwarts, and you can leave Hogwarts. So I'm with you. I think I tell the story when I think it was right before they mentioned that it was like the ASMR one. Remember when they paused and said like, "Oh, this is where we took this video," and they showed the camera angle where like this
Yeah.
is right before that. You're in like this outside. You're still like there's a wall next to you, and you're walking, and then you can see part of the castle, and it
Mhm.
looks so good.
Oh
It's
yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
just the far away looks of how the castle is when you're like 20, 30, 40 feet. It looks real. It looks like you're in Universal, to be honest. Like it looks like you're there.
Oh
And I
yeah.
really
Oh
like
yeah.
that. The smaller details are the polish and they need to work on it. But those things, seeing like and again, like the glass kind of windows that they got
Oh my
everywhere,
god.
it looks so good. So good.
Yeah. Totally agree.
I'd put that up there. This one's actually a good way of saying it. I've lowered my expectations in a healthy way, and that's I think fair.
Yeah, it's kind of gets grounded. It
Yeah.
just you ground yourself like this is what you're getting. Stop dreaming. That's it. And it's not about stop dreaming. It's just about this is what you're getting.
Right. How do you feel about? I don't know if you and I have ever actually talked about it. How do you feel about character creator? What kind of gamer are you? Do you take forever to do it, or like I take like 30 seconds? I just go through. What kind
See,
of
I
person
wish
are
I
you?
was you. I have an issue in my person. Like sometimes I can't make a decision if I have multiple choices. It's a nightmare. That's why it takes forever for me to edit when I choose.
Yeah.
Well, I have to choose takes.
Right.
In games, I don't really like character creators for that reason because it takes forever for me to do them. So
Yeah.
I wish they would give me a character. So in Hogwarts Legacy, that's the least thing I care about.
Same.
But I love the fact that you can make your hair purple
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really do that in real life because I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try doing it there. So
I always say that I will take the general model of whatever they give, and then I'll add a scar. That's what I do. I
okay,
add a
yeah,
scar. That's what I
yeah.
did with Shepard in Mass Effect. It's the same. The cover of him, like in
Mhm.
trailers, it's that, and then I think on this cheek, there's a scar that goes down, and
Nice.
that's my difference
The
between their
the
Shepard and
outfits
mine.
the outfits I care more about, like, if there's a
Okay.
cool cloak or
Yeah. Yeah.
whatnot. See, like, right now I'm looking at Elden Ring. I never played it.
Oh yes.
I never played Souls games, but I know they're tough. I tried Dark Souls 3,
Yeah.
and it was
Elden Ring's a
horrible,
lot easier,
and
I think.
it looks so pretty. Some outfits look awesome, so I'm like, "Oh, I think I wanna try it, but I don't wanna pay 60 or whatever dollars and then end up being like, I don't I'm hating this."
Yeah. No, that's
'Cause
fair.
it's tough.
I actually played it quite a bit, and it's the first one that I was able to do as much as
Really?
I did. So I was
I'm
kind
I'm
of
watching videos, I'm watching tutorials, I'm
oh
kind of
yeah,
prepping
yeah,
myself. Yeah. And there's Hogwarts, right? There's not Hogwarts, but
yeah,
there's a big castle that you can explore.
yes. Yeah, I don't know if it reminds me exactly the aesthetic, but there is some of the architecture. I think very much reminds me of what they go for. How long do you estimate the story will be? Oh boy,
I think 30-ish to 30-ish. I think it would be safe to say for me.
I'll go slightly under and say 20,
Okay.
20, 20. I mean, I don't know. I think of God of War. I think really any open world game, Witcher.
Uh-huh.
Witcher's story is probably only 40, 45 hours. Now the whole game is like
Really?
100, and then the
Right.
side quest.
See, that's the thing. I feel like overall it's gonna go double that.
Right. Yes, I'm with
It's gonna
yeah.
go double that.
I think it'll probably be like 20 to 25 for story, and then to completionists, like to do everything, we're talking 60, 70, 80. To do
Mhm.
generally double, around 50 hours, I think is probably
Okay.
fair. Um,
I'm in
I
the
don't
same
think I
place.
don't think we're getting like a low, like a 30-hour to do everything. That would be pretty disappointing to a lot of people. I also don't think it's going to be like 100 and it's not Persona 5 or anything like a
Right.
100-hour thing,
And to be fair, like, I prefer it to be a bit on the lesser side if there
Yeah.
was like, okay, there's a perfect line where you have a lot of things to do, but I prefer for all the side missions and stuff to be different enough to be interesting,
Yes.
to be the, and it seems like that's what we're getting, because for example, the companions, they're all side missions and they're
Yeah.
all different story arcs. One, it has a curse.
Yeah.
In the family we do dark arts. The Natsu and I think she's like overall, for she's just for justice, not for
Yeah.
peace, but just if anyone is abused or there's abuse of power, she'll be standing up against that.
Yeah.
And then Poppy, she doesn't care about wizards but cares about only magical beasts,
Yeah.
and she's that. So they're very different characters right away, very interesting, and then they're gonna have their own storylines, which that's what I like. We're gonna be getting some
Right.
different activities
Yeah.
rather than have it 100-hour full completion, but they're all copy pasted
Yes.
tasks to just bring you something,
Yep.
and that's it. Like that's why that was a problem for me with Assassin's Creed Odyssey
Oh yeah.
in a way, and Origins too, because the side quests, they were so copy pasted, they're
Yep.
so the same. It became boring and it became
Yeah,
like a
eventually
hostile.
you repeat or you rely on the same mechanics to carry you through too much, and that's why I
Yeah,
give like the reason I bring Persona up. Like Persona is like a magical thing where it's 100. It's no joke. I think it took me like 98 hours. It's a literal 100-hour game, and it just keeps going, and you keep
right.
going to different locations and different enemies, and the story they just keep talking, and it just keeps like it
Oh my
never
god.
ends, and it's always doing something. So those are like magical. Very few developers in the world, can do
Right.
something like
And
that.
Zelda, for example, even
Yeah,
I thought about it recently, like, yeah, they, side quests, they are all very interesting little tiny stories.
yeah,
Some, there's a character who has a wife washed off somewhere into the into the
yeah,
river. Someone is trapped in the middle of the ocean, or there's just a kid who wants to see different weapons, and you just kind of bring them and show them, and he gives you then rupees.
yeah,
So they're all different little characters, and they have little different activities for you to do, and it's a variety. It gives variety. They're
yeah,
all not the same
yeah.
literal
Those
things.
are special. And that's what I hope. Like you said, it's easier to do it if there's less. If there's less, you have
Yes,
more time to flesh it out, individually. And if
I
it's more,
prefer to be wishing to, oh, I want more of this,
you're
than
right.
I
Yeah.
wish for another sequel, or there's too much and I get bored and I stop playing and I don't care
Yes.
about anything.
Yep. And factually, again, like statistically, people don't beat games. People don't play through it. People don't like
Yeah,
people even in single player games, the percentage is like 20-30% actually make it to the end of just pick your single player game. And
right.
that's not
Yep.
even open world. That's not multiple quests. Like it's just a thing. People have very short attention spans. People do not like we will, but we are not the
We will.
majority when it comes to the stats. We just aren't.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. I get frustrated with that. It's like,
Unless if they go like a GTA, if they will allow mods,
oh
then
yes.
it will
Oh
have a
yeah.
life
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, mods could honestly carry this game for longer than they could ever dream of. Just let the community do it for you.
Oh my god,
So,
like imagine just every character is Voldemort or something like that. I don't know.
well, somebody said they were gonna make everybody a Ravenclaw to make up for the lack of the Ravenclaw
Oh my god.
companion,
Oh,
which
but
was
okay, there you go. Okay, let's talk about this guy.
okay.
What's his name?
Amit, right? I don't know how to
Ahmed.
pronunciate it. Amit. Oh
Let's
God,
see.
yeah, Amit. Uh,
Um,
Amit Thakar. I can
there he is.
probably. I don't know why it's so bright on my other stupid monitor, but hold on, I can probably get it. Oh,
Amit
yeah,
Thakar.
yeah.
So Amit aspires to be a famous wizarding historian and already has extensive plans for his first memoir. Exceptionally bright and well read, he adores stargazing and always seems to have the most recent, top of the line telescope at hand. Sounds very fancy. Amit will leap at the chance to help a friend in need, but once in the thick of things, often realizes he might be better off reading or writing about certain adventures than experiencing them. I see. So he sounds like a bookworm,
Yeah, yeah,
um, but because they show him as non-companion.
Okay, so you're on my side. He's not a companion. I'm telling you right now.
Right. So and what's a companion?
A
If a companion, you can enlist him as a follower and go do stuff together. That's
Oh, okay. All right. So hold on.
that's all what it means.
Is it? Because I've seen some wrinkles in it. Not that I disagree. I've seen some.
Yeah.
So so well, let's get one more look at him. There he is. Okay. So let me pitch you my definition, and you tell me what you think. So my definition of companion is partially what you just said, except they also need to have a quest line, more than one quest of their character specifically. So you're talking about all the other three. You mentioned them. He would, if he's a companion, he needs to have multiple quests, and I don't mean like 30, I mean like at least two, and it's his storyline to flesh out his character, like Mass Effect, like Poppy will have, like Sebastian. That's what I now, because the whole he can come with you thing, people have pushed back at me when I've said I don't even think he'll do that, where they'll say, well, maybe he'll go with you once, or maybe he'll go with you with non-fighting missions. There seems to be a gray area that he can maybe go with you, but he's not considered a companion. So what do you think of those definitions?
Okay, so first of all, what I want to say that I think he will have his story arc mission regardless,
Okay.
because they show him for a reason. I think.
Yeah.
I think there will be something about him.
Okay.
I personally think that he's the definition of Malfoy.
Ooh.
The equivalent of Malfoy in this game.
Okay.
And that for that reason, we will not going to be able to ever so okay, and then going back a little bit to the definition. So companion is the one you can be friends with, and you can enlist them as a follower to do whatever, because that's what they say. You can have a character come with you, but there are a limited amount of those characters. We have 3.
Yeah.
This guy is not a companion because we will never be able to become friends with and get to the point where he will come do stuff with us.
Okay.
So that, I think that's the reason why he's not making a companion. Does a companion has to have a story? I guess so. If you want to become friends, you have to do some missions and some stuff together to kind of bond with,
right,
or whatnot, and then you can, oh, we're pals, let's do stuff.
It's tough, like, because my original theory was you meet him, right? You meet him and you immediately do his quest, and it's one quest where you learn about him, but at the end of that quest you learn that he doesn't fight, so he's a coward or something, and he runs away. And then that and I don't know, I never know the right word. Is it relegates him to the side, like pushes him off? It pushes him off to the side, and now he's like your bookworm guy in the game, where you can go to him in the astronomy tower or whatever, you can talk to him. And I think you set him up there by doing one quest to flesh out a story, but you find out in that quest, as his character description says, he does not fight. And that's why he will not accompany you anymore. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay. So
he'll be with you for one mission, but he won't fight.
You just gave me ideas a little bit. I feel like he could be, because what they said, that different companions will teach you different stuff.
Right.
Potions or spells, they'll have something unique about them.
Yeah.
Maybe. And again, companion, just the definition, a word of a companion is someone accompanying you. So I still, the definition of companion is just someone follows you to do stuff.
Okay.
He's not gonna, his benefit as a friend.
Do you think he teaches you like the field guide or any?
Yeah, not the field, but he's gonna be someone on the side, maybe of astronomy, as you said. Maybe he'll be the IT guy who knows stuff. He's gonna be that guy. He's gonna be the bookworm who knows stuff. If he's not Malfoy.
Okay.
In this game, that makes more sense. But he'll never goes out. He's scared. He just doesn't want to do stuff.
Right. I think there's a reason why they said. I want to look at it. I know you read it so well. I want to just read the ending. Will leap at the chance to help a friend in need, which he could probably do through talking. But once in the thick of things, often realizes he might be better off reading or writing about certain adventures than experiencing. So I think you're going to do something with him where he is scared off and he's like, I'm not doing this. I'll write about it. I'll chronicle your journey, but I'm not going to go with you. That's
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
you know.
That's a very distinct personality.
Yeah, I don't
You
think they
know?
put that in there for it to mean nothing. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
that's kind of built into the first couple minutes you have with the guy, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel companions can join you for their storyline or your storyline. Classmates you will meet and they will give you quests or challenges, but will not actually join you. I feel he is a classmate only. Okay.
Yeah.
And
That
I
works.
think it's a mix of that and what Ben said. I do think you'll learn more about him than like an average classmate. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? If there's like 8 classmates, he may be the most important. Like, you can
Yeah.
talk, he has the most unique dialogue, stuff
Right.
like that,
Yeah.
you know?
I agree.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
but I do think that's a good definition. That's a good difference. I saw somebody asked us about the spells. What do you think of the
Okay.
combat and spells? Combo ideas.
So, okay. Now from what they showed, that's something I wanted to actually talk
Yeah.
about. From what they mentioned about combos in the very beginning,
Yeah.
I thought is going to be a different thing. Now,
Okay.
combos here is different because I thought we're going to have like in Spider-Man or kind of, there's a little 3 combinations of buttons that will cast a spell. No,
Mhm.
combos is just a sequence. You can be casting, combo rises up
Yeah.
that looks like
Yeah.
builds up your meter, whatever the ancient magic meter, or whatever
Yes.
that is.
That's what
The
I
little
think it is. I think the
because the blue little thing was kind of building up a little bit.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Did you
I
notice? It was
I
just in
didn't
little moments. It was just kind of like dee, 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 dee. It
Oh,
was just
okay.
kind of it was
I
kind of
did
nebulous.
predict as soon as he started talking about in the beginning that it was those 2 bars that were empty. I was saying that's that ancient magic where you rain the lightning
Uh-huh.
bolt. That's what
hmm
that is. Yeah.
hmm That's
Yeah,
what
I like it. It's in a way it seems simplistic, but it also doesn't because there can be a lot of things going on at the same time. There's a lot of spells you'd be swapping between, you
I
know?
had to watch it like 4 or 5 times to understand what the hell is going on there.
Yeah.
Like that you just it's more intuitive, yes, kind of, but at the same it looks good. It looks not simplistic that it's just whatever. You
Yeah.
like it makes me wonder just to get the controller and like try it yourself and learn
Right.
all those stuff, like how exactly that works.
Yep.
So I think, yeah. And plus this,
Now,
yeah.
I asked James this, and I don't actually
Mhm.
remember his answer, although maybe I do. So, do you think Avada Kedavra and all of that stuff makes it into just the casual, those 4 spell? Because it sounds like it does. Because I was broken up, right? Left was the like essential spells. So those are the ones you'll use when you're walking around the castle. Those are for very specific purposes. And then
Mhm.
right is the grid, which is the 4 different, groupings of the spells.
Right.
I imagine Crucio and all of those go there, not on the essential side, unless it's like again put off in its own category, like all 3 of them are just their own thing. But I almost feel it leans like maybe you can use those spells at any time you in fights. You can't just go around the castle. Is I'm gonna assume when you're going around the castle, you probably can't even press R2 to do the spells. You can only press
Mm.
square when he like
Mm.
reigns in the book or whatever. So
Right, right.
I don't think you'll be able
Oh
to
yeah,
just
he didn't yeah.
he never used R2 when you're walking around the corridors and hallways. You never press it. I assume
Right.
it's locked off. I don't even assume they didn't press it. I assume you cannot press it.
I
Um,
see. That may I mean
but then in fights, but here's the issue. I almost think the answer is still no because say that training session, you can't use Avada Kedavra. It can't be a training.
just
You
murder
can't put it in your
students.
spell list and then use it to kill students when you're practicing with it. Like it actually breaks the game mechanics. So they literally can't do
Right.
it. So I actually don't know where those 3 unforgivable curses slot in your
Hmm.
in the
That
D-pad.
makes sense. And they didn't even because
No, they skipped that part.
they didn't even like because makes me maybe they're like finishers
Oh,
in the
okay.
game because they didn't kind of
That's
they showed
possible.
just a little bit of combat in general.
Yeah.
So maybe there are just still
I'd buy
finishers
finishers. I'd buy that that
that
could be the case.
that they're that.
Yep.
That's
Uh,
interesting.
I'm just seeing other count. Yeah, no, honestly, well, because again, when he used Avada Kedavra in the whatever it was, maybe the state of play,
Just
whatever that
state of play,
was, it
uh-huh.
did look like a finisher. So
It did,
I'd
it
buy
did.
that.
Mhm.
Think presets will help. This is the pick your own character to make your character. Yeah, I just go by how they make it
Yeah.
and slight tweaks. Um,
And then you end up it's been an hour, and then you end up tweaking just
Yeah.
little things.
But see, that's
Yeah.
how I'm gonna get the advantage. Like all of us are gonna start the 3 days early because everybody and their mom bought the deluxe. But see, there's gonna be some people in the character creator in hour 2, and I'll already be in. I'll be into
Yeah.
the story, and you know.
I'll make purple hair and just go in.
Were you okay? Now this one, I didn't actually think about this.
Oh,
I thought it when I saw the showcase, but I've never talked about it since. So you can make your first and last name, can't you? And
that was when I watched the thing, I was like,
we
"What?"
debated
And
that
then I forgot
forever.
about it.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Because yeah, that means what does it mean? I
It
actually never
means they'll
thought about it.
never refer to you as anything
That's
by
true.
like your name. They'll never say your like they won't say anything. So you're
Only
just
written, probably is gonna be written.
it could be written, but then you can't. I like we're not in Kingdom Hearts where some of it's
But yeah,
English
you're right. You can say
dub.
butt chick 69. 69 is your last name. And
Yeah.
then people will say, "Hello, 69."
Yeah, you have to. But I feel like a modern game like that, you wouldn't even write it into the dialogue box because all the characters, like again, Persona, Kingdom Hearts, some examples I can think. There's some of those dialogue boxes where you just read it; they don't actually say it. But
Yeah.
for Hogwarts, everything you read from these characters, they're gonna say out loud. So you can't have their name. You
Like,
can't
"Hey,
have any name.
you."
So
Yeah.
I was
Well, at lea
honestly
or at least the first like, "Oh, hi, what's your name?" We tell him, "Oh, cool.
right.
That's
Yeah.
cute."
And see, that's a little awkward. And I think you and I maybe specifically, I know we've talked about I was shocked you're like as soon as I think we maybe settled on first name. I don't know if you were on the
Yes,
same.
yes,
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking too. First name we pick, last name is set.
yeah, and it's not. And that's okay. So are you to answer his question? Although the whole thing is actually very interesting. Are you gonna name them after yourself or are you gonna make your own or
I don't know. I'm think
I
I
like to use my own name, but I also think it's kind of cringy in some ways. So I don't know. I kind of go back and forth.
podcast and then now
It could
last
be
name.
podcast now. That would be
Yeah,
something
I'm
special.
thinking about that, and it might be Snow or yeah, it might be Snow. It might be just that. It's easy. That's the easiest way to go. It's not gonna be butt chick 69.
Are side quests a part of gaming hours?
Huh?
I think we both include it when we say like double when it's double the length. I think we're including side
Yeah,
quests
yeah,
into that.
yeah.
But not the main quest. Main quest, I think we're only talking about you just do the story stuff. If Hogwarts Legacy takes lessons from Witcher 3, it would be awesome. It would, but
By the
Witcher is
way, I tried playing Witcher 3 and I stopped because I got overwhelmed, but now since they are
yeah
doing the remaster, or what is it? It's a
December
remaster.
14th, and it's
Uh-huh.
the next gen update, which is kind of a mix between a remaster remake. So it's gonna be
I see.
tomorrow they show it. So
Oh,
tomorrow on their
okay.
Twitch
So
channel,
I think there's gonna be a chance for me to give it
yeah, you
another
should do
shot.
it.
Give it
Yeah.
another shot. Yeah.
Yep. Alex Ben holiday theme quest. Do you guys think we'll get it? Oh man, I think Christmas. I don't know how many other. I think we'll get a Christmas themed side quest.
It would make sense because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get the decorate because like in the haunted shop thing, it was during winter and there
Yep.
were little, Hogwarts looked different.
Yeah.
Not Hogwarts.
Hogsmeade.
Hogsmeade
Yeah.
looked different. And Hogsmeade, Boston mentioned that windows change with seasons.
Yes.
So put those things together. I think yeah, we're gonna have some thematic
Yeah.
experience, side quests, etc. Something. I want to help elves decorate the freaking school. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I'll make the tree myself. They don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Feel like thanks for the super chat. I get Alwyn. Is that how you say your name? Thank you so much for all these super chats. Feel there has to be a different Ravenclaw companion in the movies. You can go into a common room that isn't your own if a student of that house brings you there. That's how we get to those flu points. Well, James and I talked about it last week where we were kind of conflicted, Ben. I don't know how you feel about this. Will they let you? Is that going to be something they really just limit you? You have to play it 4 times, or will they let? So, say you play Gryffindor, are they going to let you be able to go into the other houses because commonly you don't do that? So, I wonder. What do you
Apologies
think?
potion.
Huh?
Apologies potion. Apologies
Oh,
potion.
yeah, okay, yeah. So you think that's going to be like a?
I
Well, how do
think
you
we
think that's
will.
going to work? It's going to be like a quest, and then you can use it whenever to sneak in. How do you think it's going to work?
I think
Because
I
you'd
don't
want
know.
to do it more than once. So I think you introduce it and then you have
Yeah, I think you can.
styles.
Yeah, I think that's how we're gonna at some point get a recipe of the potion. We're gonna gather ingredients that's gonna take for a lot of time,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna brew the potion, and we know it. And then whenever we want to visit other common rooms, and we're gonna go there, we're gonna have time limitation, and when it runs out, if it's inside, then we're gonna get kicked out, just
Yeah.
out of there, and
I
that's it.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I think it could
I will
be.
say, well, let me ask you this, man. How do you feel like, because we talk about this Amit or whatever, and
Uh-huh.
how would you feel though if like the game comes and goes and we don't have a Ravenclaw companion? Like, and I've said, it is one of the more critical things I've said about them. I think it's a huge mistake, and I don't know why you. I
Hmm.
get it because games and movies and everything plays by those like rule of threes, right? Everything happens in triplets and stuff. But
Mhm.
how can you have three companions that's following the rule of threes? That's fine, but there's four houses. How do you leave a Ravenclaw out of it? And and people, I think people are on understand what I'm going at. I don't like harp on it like every day, all day, but it is something that bugs me where it's like I just don't get that decision making. If that's the case, maybe it's not, but if it is,
Um, well, maybe they thought, hey,
nobody's gonna play Ravenclaw.
Slytherin suffered all this time. It's misunderstood or whatnot. Now someone else is gonna bear that thing.
Okay.
So maybe that's what they chose this time. Okay, Ravenclaws are gonna suffer this time around. I mean, I mean,
It's
I'm not
like I think
Ravenclaw, so
James said like he's not a Ravenclaw, so it doesn't matter to him. But
that's what I'm
he was
saying
just
right now.
yeah.
Well,
I
no,
just
I
I think it's
feel for
weird.
Ravenclaws, but I think that's what I'm saying. I think, well, there's gonna be someone
Well,
like
that's what, and
Malfoy.
this is an important thing. Think we're reading too much into him not being a companion, and that is fair. And that's why I say if it happens, like and Ben said it, we've all said it. It depends on how they do it. Like maybe he is the most important classmate, and he's a substitute companion like thing, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm literally saying though, if there's just a void, you know what I mean, like Poppy, Sebastian, like you can really feel them, they're part of the game, and then there just is no Ravenclaw
Okay,
comparison.
so I think, here's the thing. I think Ravenclaw is gonna be represented in the game by a character that, aside or whatever, there's gonna be someone. It's not like it's gonna be ignored.
Okay.
There is, from since they're not calling him companion, since
Yeah.
they're doing this, I think there's like a 70% chance that there will be a non-companionable, not
Yeah. Like a
person
story
from a.
thing, a story character like
It's
thing.
still going to be represented. You're still going to interact. It's not going to be missed.
Yeah.
But that's just how the story
Do
goes.
do we know like
See
Hecat
that? So,
or
sorry. That's the reason why I think, because they're not revealing the actual companion or the person who we can be friends with or not friends, because they're part of the actual storyline,
yeah.
and that's what they're not revealing at
Okay.
all. Really,
Yeah,
they're
I
not
buy
saying
that, and
anything
I
about
think
the story.
that would be, that would shut me up, just for anybody when we get out stop talking about it. What do you think about so now we're in the professor, era. Now, do we
Uh-huh.
know, and maybe I just don't pay attention, do we know what Fig is, which house?
I don't.
I think
Slytherin
one of them,
makes
the
me think
guy who you
Slytherin.
originally, the very first professor you see in the trailer, he's Slytherin, I believe. She,
The
this
charms
Hecat,
professor.
yeah,
Yeah, she's
she seems
Slytherin.
like she could be Ravenclaw, although she doesn't have to be, but people are kind of thinking she is.
Yeah.
Um,
Who? This one? Hecat?
yeah.
Oh, she is, because there's a little emblem on
Oh,
top.
okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it. Yeah. So do you think there'll be? Well, there's more than four professors, so it would get a little uneven, but they'd all be represented, I'd assume, by professors too.
Yeah.
So
Because you gotta have a head,
yeah, true.
and they're usually professors from the house. So yeah, I think so. We got Slytherin is the charms professor. I think Hufflepuff is the herbology
That
class.
Yeah, that's the sense that I always got. I don't know if that's
Well,
that's
she gives the
confirmed.
vibe. She just
Yeah,
gives the
she
vibe.
does.
Then what else? Who else? Now we have Ravenclaw for Defense Against the Dark
Defense.
Arts.
Yep.
What else we've got? And then maybe what? Potions is going to be a Gryffindor, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we don't know the magical beasts, that class. We know that is
Oh
a
yeah,
class. does not seem to be as important as the main, 4 or whatever.
Unless it's linked to the story.
Yes. True.
Unless it's
Well,
linked
see,
to
I
the
think
story.
some of them, yeah, that one probably
Because we
is.
have so many beasts, and we have Poppy who is linked, and
That's what
then
I'm saying. Yeah,
Centaurs
that's
too.
what I was gonna say. That I think is your introduction to that. The same way that the broom class is a class, but it's
Uh-huh.
just one time thing, and you learn how to fly, and then it's a mechanic. So
Mhm.
I think you're right. I think the beast class is the same thing.
Right. Oh, by the way, talking about beasts, what's okay,
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
get to this.
I don't know if people have done this or not. But Joe
I
wants to.
have, yes.
There you go. Vote for Hogwarts Legacy. I'll be flat honest. I don't think it's gonna win. I don't think the
Really?
journalists. No, because it's not just voted by us. It's voted by 100 gaming journalists, and I don't think they'd ever let it win. So
Mm.
personally, I just don't think they're gonna vote that.
Maybe, but if to look
This will
at
be
the
the first
next
test because if it wins, then I'll maybe lay off them. As as hard as I've been on them, I'll lay off. But if it doesn't win, I'm gonna start a conspiracy theory that
Hey,
it won popular vote, and they.
here's the thing. I think you specifically, you can kinda call yourself a game journalist.
I think I can. Honestly, that's the problem. Is I think I can. Yeah,
Yeah,
I go after them so much, but I am. But I'm not in their hive
and
mind.
look how it goes. It's
Yeah.
you're just on one or either side.
Yep. I prefer this sector of
Yeah.
journalism than theirs.
Yeah, but wait, but what other games are there? Is there Zelda
Yeah,
among?
it is one and
Okay,
Starfield. So I think Zelda's gonna win personally.
yes.
Because Zelda is like people forget it's the biggest. It's like it's so big.
It's
It's
so
so
big.
big.
It's big.
I think even from size of these games, Starfield's tough. I do feel like Hogwarts and Starfield are almost equals.
And it got mixed, really mixed, feedback
Starfield.
from the reveal thing.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I would say they're probably on equal ground in terms of like how big they can be. If we're talking about how excited people are now, I think Hogwarts actually has the
Oh,
advantage.
yeah.
But then Zelda's kind of over in its own corner, ready to sell 20 million units day 5. Like it's just ready to freaking crush it. You know what I mean?
I know,
It's
I
tough.
know.
It's tough to beat that
But
game.
there's chance. I think there's
Yeah.
chance.
The
Yeah.
popular vote needs to outweigh the gaming journalists.
Yes!
People will still play the game. No, I know. I don't know if that was for the voting or if it was for the Ravenclaw thing. I don't think the Ravenclaw thing is gonna like turn people off to playing it. I just think it's a really weird, unless and I do think they're setting themselves up, like Ben said, where it they're not showing it because it's actually that person is more important than the other 3. Oddly enough, we think Ravenclaw is being so pushed aside. It could actually be Ravenclaw kind of like carries it, which
Because the companions, remember, they're not that important because they're side missions.
they
You
actually
don't
said
have
that
to do
too.
them. You don't have to do those
Yeah.
character lines at all.
Yep. No, I agree. It would be stupid if you just have 3 companions who can join you in your journey. Yeah, it'll be who will you
Or maybe
pick?
you're the 4th. You
Yeah,
become
oh my god.
Ravenclaw.
Yeah, and see, like if you were like designated a house, then it would make more sense. Like if you were the 4th missing piece, but because you can like double them
Right.
in their houses, who are you gonna pick? Well, I don't think we've ever asked that. So say you have all 3 of them available to you. Who's like your go-to that you take on journeys with?
I think for me, it's gonna be Sebastian. He seems
Okay.
cool.
I'd go be between him and Poppy, I'd say.
Poppy's evil.
I just want to
Be
say
careful.
I just want to see their like unique dialogue. What will they say in the moment? I think Poppy's could be maybe because of her anger or whatever. She could have some really cool, funny lines here and there.
Because I feel like she can have that twist on her. Like she
Yeah.
meaning like not like all full blown evil, but she's so like she likes the Fantastic Beasts, and if she'll see someone abusing
Yeah.
someone like poachers, she'll go berserk. She'll
Yeah.
burn the whole place to the ground.
Yeah.
The whole
That's
camp.
that's what I'm saying. It could be pretty funny to take, or maybe you take them on specific things, and so if you're gonna do stuff like that, you take her purposely.
Right. Yeah.
That'd be fun. Polyjuice seems too complicated. Remember how we thought we would have to do something complicated and get flu powder to use the floor points, etc. But it's as easy as walking by them. Has to be easier. Well, it could be as easy as. Oh nope! I almost. Well, like once you're in the common room and you walk by the flu thing, it lights up, and then yeah, you would be able to fast travel. The issue is you got to get there first, which is where Polyjuice or it could just be some. I really do
Well,
think it could be a quest thing, a main quest thing. You're interested, you've never been to Hogwarts before. You want to see what the other places are. It doesn't matter which house you're in, right? It applies for anything, and it's a quest where you learn, like you said, you learn the. I think it would work because it's just a vial and it's in your inventory and you brew it, like you said. I feel like the mechanics are all there to do it.
yeah, it's specifically mechanics, like technical wise. It's just you can customize your character already. That's a just differently customized
Yeah.
avatar, just wearing a different cloak. So in
Yeah.
terms of, because you turn to that student, that's easy to do mechanically, and that mechanic is already present in the game. So why not
Right.
utilize it
And it would
in
be the
colleges?
same and an easy way around it. Everybody, this does take maybe a little bit more of the realism or the how I play versus how you play. But an
Mhm.
easy way of doing it is just having everybody turn into the exact same person. So the quest is you turn into one kid, and that kid doesn't matter. You're playing and I'm playing at different houses. It's still
Yeah,
always the
there you
same.
go. Yeah,
It's the same NPC face,
yeah,
and that's it. And you can imagine in reality, it would be somebody different for each person, but they're not going to go that far. And
right. Yeah, yeah.
you got support on the Poppy is evil train. Um,
Yes.
I think they're going to stop using the term companion. It's giving people the impression they'll be more important outside of their stories. I don't believe they can join you in the open
Maybe,
world.
the,
Well, I don't think anybody can join you in the open world. It's only quests, I think. Right?
but that's what they, I think, meant by companions, that you can enlist them as followers
But
in
do you
the
think they
open
can just
world.
follow you when you're casually free roaming, or is it
That's what
only?
I thought.
Ooh, man, see, I've always thought the opposite. I've always thought
What do
it's
you mean?
only quests.
Oh, no,
But that wouldn't it would actually make more sense for
I
them.
think they have quests, like just their quests. You do their
Yeah, yeah.
storyline, but then while you're doing stuff, you can enlist them and they come with you.
Oh,
Like in State of Decay 2.
yeah,
You can have followers
that's
that come in
true.
with you. That's who they are.
Yeah, or Dragon
Because
Age. That's another one I think that you could think of. Shoot, yeah, you're right. Hmm.
yeah, so that's what they so what's the question? Hold on, nothing there.
Just I don't know, this was
Yeah,
a
but
comment. Oh, I
maybe,
I think we are done seeing the word companion.
yeah. Maybe they kinda dug themselves into the
They yeah, they did.
ground with this word, with the phrase,
Yeah,
yeah,
they definitely did. And using it in that state of play was,
yeah, yeah,
the last thing. I do see the bots, by the way. They can follow you in the open world and comment on stuff around the cat. Okay. Okay.
yeah. Let's see.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What do you think about not having gobstones, wizard chess, or able to sit?
What a goddamn disaster! What a disaster! No, I'm just kidding. No, it is a big miss. It's a big miss, and not
I think
everybody
so too.
agrees with me. I said it's a big miss, and people said, "Who in God's name wanted Wizards chess in the first place?" Well,
I do.
look around. Many people want it. Here's two people right here. Yeah. So no, okay. My go-to statement, and then I want to hear what you have to say. So my go-to statement is just they again, my issue the biggest issue with that gameplay showcase is it doesn't feel alive enough for me.
Mm,
That's the biggest thing of anything. And I'm not saying everybody would play Wizards chess or everybody even cares about, but it's just another thing in the world that makes it feel more alive. That's it. That's it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a thing you can do. It's a chessboard on a table every so often. There's people sitting down playing it in the background. It just makes it seem like people are doing things. That's it.
Yeah.
And so I
I
think not having. Oh, by the way, since I last talked about this controversy, and it has gotten me in controversy, one thing that somebody pointed out that I think destroys the whole thing. So I've said I really don't think it's that difficult to animate top down. You're looking down, and the chessboard is moving. I don't think
Mhm.
it's that hard. I just feel like it was a decision that they didn't want to do it. People said, well, there's all these animations. The chess pieces have to move. But the issue with that statement is if you I don't know if it was Boston or somebody else, they said while they were talking about it that you'll still see it.
Oh,
So
you see it.
you'll
There's
see
wizard
wizard chess,
yeah,
but you
you see
can't
it.
do it yourself, which really hurts the entire argument that, oh, well, they can't animate it. Well, they are. It's in the background.
Yeah, no, yeah. So what they said was that they are in the world. You can see because in the Slytherin common room, you see wizard chess, and the chess piece moves in
Oh,
there.
okay.
It's
Oh yeah, you're
animated.
right. You're right. You're right. You can.
There's a
And that,
little moment, but
yeah,
what I'm thinking, if it's there, it's already moving.
DLC.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Just not have it right away, but then have people like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then you get this minutia little things in a pack or something later
Oh,
on
okay.
because
Yeah, I
it's
can see that.
there. But
Yeah.
like, I totally agree. That's wizard chess. It's like in your apartment, you probably have it,
Yeah.
but you never touch it ever. The
Yep.
same thing. You want to have that thing. Okay. So what about?
And I think that applies to any gobstone, like all this stuff
Yeah,
is like
I
they're
never
just
played Gobstone. Well, I tried, and I don't understand how to play them in
yeah.
Order of the Phoenix.
I never played it either,
Yeah,
but it's just something to do,
yeah,
and again, like, I'm only saying it now, like, when we see the game, my opinion could change, and I could say, "Oh, it is so lived in, so livable, I don't care." I just get the sense there's not gonna be enough going on, and I just think Wizards Chess would help, would add to it. That's
right.
it. That's
Yeah.
it, I also found it weird, as people pointed out, that for some reason they thought it was a good idea to list things that weren't in the game, but not talk about what was in the game. You catch that? Like they're like, let's go through some things that we excluded,
I
and it was like all negative. It's all like, oh, it's not in the game. Well, and they didn't counter it by saying, but here's what you can do. They never did that, and that's just odd to me.
hmm, I know. I think that's a good thing. You know why?
Okay.
Because that's I think the good part is that they're saying what you shouldn't expect. You
Yes.
shouldn't get your hopes for,
Yeah.
which means so we're a little bit sad right now, but we'll be okay with it by the time the game releases. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's better because I prefer to be surprised in a good way
No. Yeah, I agree with
than
that.
in a bad way. So I think that they're going this way. It's so rare when
Yeah.
developers do that. When they go up front and say, "This is we don't have this and this and that. Get over it
Yeah.
until the game comes out, but we'll have some good stuff." I think that's a better way to do it.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
That's why I like it.
Transparency.
I still don't like the fact that there's no wizard chess because what the hell? I literally in my streams in Order of the Phoenix, every stream I would end with spending 30 minutes playing wizard chess there.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I just don't think, like, really, again, my basic argument is I just don't think it takes chess is already a code. You could take the
yeah,
code and you put it in the game. You have to animate, but also I don't understand the people that say, well, there's all these hundreds of animations because it's wizard's chess, it's not normal chess. But like there are paintings everywhere that the characters move it. Do you know how many animations that is? So
yeah.
to say that they
And
can't
some would barely
animate,
see on top of the
yeah,
you
like,
know, yeah,
I cannot believe the people that say they can't animate it, it's too much. They
it's not too much.
animate millions of things. They can't do wizards. So I just think it was a decision
They
that they
animate
thought.
grass that
Yeah, they
moves
do.
in the you
Yeah.
know?
I just think they decided they had a meeting at some point and they said we're not doing it. And they could have been, we're gonna amp people up and give it to them in DLC. And I would not be shocked if they
Yeah,
gave it to us in
yeah,
DLC.
yeah. I wouldn't be either.
Give us a full freaking game. Give us Gwent as Wizard's Chess. Um, Tri-Wizard Chess Tournament DLC. People keep asking about like a Tri-Wizard tournament. I mean, I think that's just so big. It would have to be like Goblet of Fire, where it's the purpose of the whole game.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge DLC. You know what I mean?
I feel like they're not gonna go this way, mostly because from the look of it, it looks like we're gonna have activities much more exciting than even the trial was a tournament that only had 3 tasks. I feel like all the quests and all the things are gonna be so much more cooler. They're just not gonna be in the setting of it being a thing, an event.
Right. Yep. Devs never said the 3 companions are the only available. I think they added the 3 just to
That's
show how
true.
true, because like Fig is like the companion technically in the early game. He's going to be with you doing stuff because he creates the bridge and at Gringotts.
Right.
So yeah, I could see. I wonder if professors, like the professors that we're seeing, are going to at some point be a companion to you. They have qualities of them because they say side quests that flesh the character out more. So there is signs that they could, but I think there'll be more limit. You're not going to be taking professors out as your walking buddy. for most of
But
the
at the
game.
same time, we do see him fighting some wizards, like him and the main character,
Yep.
some goblins and stuff. Remember,
Yep.
just in some random camp.
I
It
think
might
there'll be
part of
select
the story,
missions where you will have a companion that's only for that mission, and it's just
right?
part of the story, which will be
Yeah,
cool, and that'll
mhm.
add, you know, diversity or whatever the right word
And
is.
power. Maybe there's some camps that are just too difficult to do, so you
Ooh,
need
yes.
someone else.
That'd be freaking
Actually,
sweet. I mean, bring in a professor and you can that's a that's a tough thing because you got to really make that professor feel like they're better than if I bring in
yeah,
Poppy versus I'm bringing in them, like they're just gonna wipe the floor, and that
right,
would be fun.
yeah,
I think Avada Kedavra is not a finisher because you randomly kill enemies, and I think they just want to give us the choice of who to kill during our journey. So that's more of
maybe.
like you're talking to them and you decide to kill them. I would assume, kind of thing, is what they're saying.
Hmm.
Um, which I
Well, that goblin that was killed in the state of play, he seemed random
you,
enough and
yeah, 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 yeah.
far
Like
away, kind of.
I think of Mass Effect, where it's like you press L2 or R2 and you choose the super good
Oh,
option or super bad, and the bad option would be doing the spell. That'd be a little old school. Um,
huh?
where it's just in the fight, just in a random fight, you
Yeah,
throw it out there.
I don't know, or maybe it is like every other spell, and they could be maybe because. Oh, by the way, did you notice that they are all differently colored? Right? Some are yellow and blue
Yes.
and red.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? And maybe they're like one of those red, or they're like black ones. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
special color. They're just those three.
It better be, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. It'd be awesome, man.
And I think some people were even saying because maybe those ability points, the spells could be in different groups because they're different kinds of spells. So you know,
Right, but they will probably okay, here's the thing. They are probably gonna be in like black category. They're just the most whatever.
yeah.
But their cooldown is gonna be forever because they have cooldown.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're not gonna be able to literally spam in them,
That's true.
but they're just gonna yeah.
Yep. No, yeah. Avada, you're doing that once every 10 minutes in game, like real time. You're gonna have to sit and wait to murder your next person.
But
No,
but
yeah, I
then
definitely
but
agree.
the good thing about how you go with students, like, can you kill students? I don't know if that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, I goes back to I really think they're gonna lock you out of it a lot of the time,
Hmm.
but I don't know. You're
Yeah.
gonna be
It
going around just. And then for the game to not recognize because it doesn't. They've said that the game it doesn't really function like that. Where like if you go out in your side content stuff, just when you're not doing main quests and
mhm.
you're killing people, the game doesn't know that like it doesn't remember and say, "Oh, you're
Right.
more
It doesn't
evil
call
now."
police on that or
Yeah,
whatever,
and,
yeah.
and I almost feel like that's bad, but because of that, they probably won't let you do it in the first place. Does that make sense? So I think
Yeah,
because the game's not going to know that you're being so evil, but it should know. And because that kind of hurts the overall experience, they're just going to remove the part where you can do it in the first place. And that's
probably.
kind of how I, see it.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause yeah, I think, yeah.
What do you think about house points? They did say it would be part of the story. How do you think it'll feature in the narrative?
Um,
I still think you'll get it for like doing cool things around the castle. Like if you're good, I don't know necessarily what good means, but I don't know. Maybe if you like
I
go to the
mhm.
class and you do like a skill check right or something, you'll get
Yeah.
points or stuff like that. But and it could be in the main story. They throw it around. They mention it here and there.
I think that's what it means. Like, just so you describe me, like we go to a class and they're like, we learn to spell like, oh, 10 points to Gryffindor. That's it. Like
Yeah,
that it's just mentioned in the narrative, but it's not in the field guide where you can track that at
right.
all.
Yeah,
So yeah. Maybe it will be represented somehow, like the rupees in
yeah.
the hourglass, the gems are gonna be piling up through the
Ooh,
course
yeah,
of the thing. But again, it's just visual and narrative. Not and I don't really that's fine for me. It
yeah,
seems like it's cool.
yeah. I'm glad they have it as
Yeah.
opposed to other things that
Hey,
they don't.
yeah, yeah.
Um, think it might be DLC for the wizard's chess. There'll
Not
be
wizard
some.
chess on its own, but it's just
If
there's
they
gonna be a
gave if they
DLC
give
that
us
has it.
Wizarding Chess DLC, where the whole point of the DLC was now you can sit down and play it, I don't really. I guess it depends. If it's free, it's fine. If you have to pay for it, I will
Hmm.
cry.
It
Um,
has to be something with something else because, as you said, it's an activity that you're not gonna do
yeah.
at all.
Some people will not care. They'll
Yeah,
say, "Okay,
you just
cool."
exactly. It's there. Well, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. There'll be so much distracting stuff to do in the game. You don't need wizard's chess or gobstones. You kind of been greedy, guys. No, I really I don't agree with that at all. What's
Right.
distracting about like there's going to be the what classes that you can go into, and but here's the thing, depending on how this game is, yes, there's going to be a lot of rooms to walk into and things, but it's going to be a lot of visual stuff. Like if there's not actually anything to do in these rooms or these locations, it will feel empty eventually. Not a so that's a distinction I want to just point out where yes, you can go to Hogsmeade and you can, but if you can't enter most buildings or even if you can, you're just looking around. Eventually, you want to like press buttons and interact. It's a video game. You're interacting with it,
Yeah,
an
and I hope that
interactive game. So that's important to remember. It could be full. I'm not saying it won't be, but for the it's the same thing on both sides. Like you can't tell me it's going to be so full, but I can't tell you it's going to be completely empty. It could be somewhere in the middle, but neither of us are technically right now. You know what I mean? That's kind of where
yeah.
I'm at. I don't think the world is going to be so mind blowingly full because it didn't look like it. I just don't
No,
know.
yeah, I think we're gonna see more apples in different
Oh my god!
places
Yeah,
and
yeah,
globes,
yeah,
to spin. I think that's gonna be it. Maybe there's gonna be something more. There were symbols all around. There are
yeah.
different stuff. I think. Well, okay. Here's the thing. As long as they make good story, as long as they make us care about at least some characters there, we're going to be invested in it and everything else will make sense and will feel authentic. Even though you will walk in the room and you'll have nothing to touch or interact with because of that, because you care about that stuff,
Right.
you will feel this realistic. In Zelda Breath of the Wild, you can enter almost every house,
Yeah.
but not everything is interactable there,
Right.
or sometimes nothing. You just see things. But
Yeah.
because you're invested in overall storyline and you're invested, it makes sense.
Totally.
So I
Yep.
think as long as the narrative and the story characters are nailed, everything else will fall
I
into
think I've
place.
said that. I think I said, to kind of counter, Alex is being too negative. To counter it, I have said it just puts more pressure on that stuff. So
Yeah.
now the narrative and the story and the characters and the realism that you're actually in Hogwarts, it puts a lot on that because it's the thing. And now maybe people always assumed it was the thing and that's fine. But but now it's like, okay, you got to give us that, and I think they will, because if you don't, you're gonna notice that it's empty. I don't like this. I'm not saying it's gonna be completely empty. I'm not saying you're gonna walk through and I'm not saying this to you, Ben. Just like some commenters.
Right. Right.
It'll be interesting to see how they do it. I
But
did
I
like
Mhm.
people doing random. Like it did look like they were students. I like them walking back and forth. But again, like you notice things with those quests, the people giving quests, they're just standing there. They're not
Yeah.
doing anything.
Yeah.
So that is a little weakness because that's the difference between some games. Some games you'll see people actually do things. It's those little things. So we'll see how much of that is reflected in the whole game, or if it was just a small thing, or whatever. And who
Yeah.
knows? You go into Hogsmeade, and there could be people with shopping bags. Like, it just feels so lived in.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I want that. So we'll see.
That's what I'm like. And the games where it works, they have good stories. They have good. That's what make it work.
Yep.
That's what makes it work.
Yep. No, I agree. That well, story, characters, character arcs, like those are the
Yeah,
most important
yeah.
things to me
When
in
I say
any game.
story,
Yeah.
sometimes it can come off as bland, like very broad definition, but it's the character development, it's the
Yeah.
story arc, the things that the stakes for characters, for the things that you do in there, the little backstories of things that you are doing or
Right.
everyone's, that it all makes a difference.
Yep. I agree. And this is a fair point. I will trade Room of Requirements and Taming the Beast over some chess and gobstones. And that's, I mean, that's
No, no. Honestly, that rumor requirements, just because you can brew potions there, you grow your plants and stuff, and you can have a house
yeah.
inside that thing. No, take wizard chess, sell it off.
I think that's what they're
I'll
saying. I
take
think
room requirement.
I'm glad. I think they worded it weird, but I think they
Oh,
would take the room over it.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay, yeah.
I'd agree with that. I mean, yeah, if you're comparing what they have, maybe I am greedy. I mean, I just kind of want more. Like, why can't we have both? But again, it just goes back to why can't we have both? Why can't they animate the chess? I mean, I
The
really don't see a good excuse.
the
Is all.
reason why we're so surprised because they had it in the dumb Order of Phoenix, a very simple game,
Yeah.
the very simplistic game, and then this is a triple A, and they don't have any. You're like, wait, what?
Right. I think it'd be in DLC, but not the focus of a DLC. Like, I'll be ticked if I get, oh, pay $5 to add Wizard's Chest. No, that would infuriate people. So
Yeah, yeah.
this one we said, how many hours in the main story? We mentioned it earlier, but I think we're in like the 20 to 30 range is kind
Mhm.
of where
I'm on the
we're at.
30-ish, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Ben wants more. See,
I
I
do.
push it when it comes to Wizard's Chest. Ben
How long
wants the 10-hour story. The
how
more.
long was, God of War, the first one?
So God of War,
2018.
the 18 or Ragnarok?
18, and then Ragnarok, if you know.
Let me go backwards. Ragnarok, I beat in 30, and
Okay.
then I platinumed it at 41, so I got all the trophies. But the main story, probably 18, probably 18 to
Huh.
20. And I would argue that 2018 was probably
Was it good?
15, 16. It was a little bit shorter.
Was it
Um,
good?
yes. Yeah, I
Okay.
really liked it. I liked it.
I can't wait to start playing my own.
Yeah, no, it's super good, but yeah, and that's and I struggle with like, is that a comparable? Because I do think it kind of is, but also is there are open worlds or open realms in God of War, but not all of them are, and I don't know, is it actually as big as Hogwarts Legacy or is it smaller? And we don't really know. I
Yeah.
assume Hogwarts should be bigger than it. Honestly, I think it would make sense, but maybe it is a good. I mean, yeah, if I walk out of Hogwarts with a 20-hour story and then 20 to 30 hours of doing everything else, I get people been waiting for this for like their entire life and maybe they want it to be 100. I'm fine with 50. I mean, give me 50
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
What we talked about, quality over quantity,
That's true.
easily for me.
I want to be asking more.
Yeah.
Give me more, but it's good. So like I'm satisfied, but I want more. That's
Yeah.
how I want to end.
Yeah. You can't end it on some stupid cliffhanger or like where DLC solves the issue of the story.
Yeah,
Like,
no, 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 no,
tell a
no, no.
complete story, and if it takes you 17 hours, it does. I don't care. Make
Yeah,
it good.
yeah,
That's all. I mean, I get into not fights, but I go to bat against people in 4 games that are maybe like 4 or 5 hours and they're like 40, $50. I support those games because as long as it's good, a game could be 5 hours. If it sticks with me, I will pay 50 for it. You know,
like Stray. That was a
Stray is
cool
a very good
concept.
game.
Yeah.
Kana Bridge of Spirits is one that comes to mind that I think is $40 when it came out, and it's about 7 to 8 hours long. And I still think about
Mm,
that game like
mm,
yesterday, or what I mean, like you still think, and that's what I want. I could play a 80-hour game that, like you said, just repeats and it's not
yeah,
interesting and stuff. Yes, to me, longer games does not mean the game is better
yeah.
ever. It's
No,
never meant that.
no.
But
Mm-mm.
some people take it like that, and that's odd. um, it's in lore. The Triwizard Tournament was canceled in 1890 or something, right? What if we're the reason
But
it's canceled? But then
uh,
Steph said
they
it
did.
wasn't active.
It was not there, but there's a chance for them using the all wizard tournament, the same thing they used in Hogwarts Mystery, which is essentially the same thing, but it happens only inside Hogwarts. It's among Hogwarts students.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go. I would take the herbology professor for a walk, honestly, if you get what I mean. If you're,
Okay.
she's got
You do you.
some spunk. That girl. She seems pretty young. Do we know her name? No, maybe probably not. The herbology teacher. She seems much younger than any of the other
I
professors.
think. Wait, hold on. I think she might be Weasley, actually.
Which was there like
Wait, because she looks so similar to the person who gave us the field guide. She
yes?
looks so close. She looks like her. And
Is
from
there a
Autodesk Present
Thistlewood, or did I just make that name up? Something Thistlewood.
Thistlewood. I think that's a wood for
But is that a
wand.
person's name, or maybe I'm getting confused because there's the Cassandra something, and she
Cassandra.
but I think that's Cassandra Mason, and she's
That's
the
in the Hogsmeade.
shopkeeper.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
But I
Yeah.
think there's maybe I'm making it up. I feel like there's a character with the last name Thistlewood.
I don't know.
Oh,
It makes
somebody
me
said it's
think.
correct. I think. It's herbology. I'm right.
Okay. Okay.
Woo!
Okay. So
She
that's
seems
not.
young. That's all I'm
She
saying.
does.
It's just an observation.
So that's not Weasley. All right. That's fine.
Yeah, Weasley. No, what am I trying to say? The person that people think is Weasley, she's in the background of one. I think it's maybe the state of play when you're battling somebody, and she's to your right, and the camera kind of half cuts her off, and people think that character is a Weasley.
Oh.
I'm
Oh.
pretty sure because when people brought up like is Weasley in the game, people had brought up an old clip where she seems like a Fig character, where she probably is a companion, like a one-time thing, and that could be her.
But that and
Oh
she
no,
gives us the book. and she
it's
gives us
when
the
they're
book.
going into Is it right before they go into the room of requirement? There's a teacher, a girl, like an
Oh.
older woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not as old as Hecat or however you say, but
Uh-huh.
but not as young as the herbology one. And there's her just standing there with you. And I think that's who people think is Weasley. Could be reading it.
Possibly. Yeah. I think. Yeah. You're right. I think that's her.
I think that's what people are saying.
Or that was. I'm gonna check right now. I'm gonna die.
I'll read the comments. You check.
Know.
You check.
I need to know.
We know we're going to get 150 points at the end of the year. That'll give it. Yeah, we're going to get those cheap points that we don't deserve to win. Just like Harry and all that. You froze your friend. You went out of your way to almost get yourself killed. 50 points to Gryffindor. Thanks, Joe, buddy. Have a good one.
Okay, that's yeah, it's a bit older person. Yeah, that could be Weasley.
Did you find it?
Yeah,
Where,
I found it.
What's it in? I could try to pull it up.
It's 11 minutes straight.
Into the state of play?
State of play, 11 minutes, 0 seconds.
All right. I will find it in just a second.
I mean, the actress who played that character, the Weasley, was younger, but I think that doesn't really, as long as
yeah. Oh yeah, that's what people think. Let me pull it up for people. Do.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's kind of dark, or maybe it's just my lighting, but far left, and then the camera will turn, and yep.
Yeah.
I mean that. Yeah, I think
she's a bit.
She's with you, and so I do think she's your. I mean, logically, I think she's your companion.
She puts the sorting hat on us.
Oh yeah, she is the same one, isn't she?
Yeah. She is.
Ah.
Let me see. I'm gonna give you time.
It's in the same one.
Yeah. Okay, it's 1 minute 48 seconds.
Okay. I don't know why.
48. Yeah, there you go.
There she is.
That's her. That's her.
And now, okay, now one of the maybe the last things we'll touch upon. This guy on the left here, I think we've all kind of come to the conclusion. Well, maybe not, but I do think Black is the headmaster. Now, is that him or is that somebody else?
Seems like.
Because they mention in the conversation in the gameplay showcase, former headmistress. And then they mentioned Black. They say, he hasn't basically solved the issue, seemingly confirming that, he's going to do it. Have we gone through ever? So, do we assume he's Black then?
I think we just assume.
Who's this?
Divination. I think that's divination. No. Divination is to the
that's
way.
She's not Sai. Oh yeah, is that her? Yeah, that's her. That's not Sai's mom, right?
Yeah.
And then he's the
Charms.
Charms. So I don't know if we know who this is yet.
Care for magical creatures?
Ooh, yeah, you're right. It could be that.
Wait, no, hold on. Flight. Isn't that her? Because if you look at the person who was flying the broom in front of Quidditch pitch.
That looks like the Quidditch teacher, Alex. Oh, it is. That is the one who flies in on the Quidditch thing, isn't it?
Okay, that's okay. Okay. Makes sense.
All right. Thank you. Chat.
Yeah, that's her. That's totally her.
So we're missing some. Honestly, it seems like a very small table compared to the movies where it just goes on forever.
It's bigger if you scroll back a little bit because we see just the middle part of it because it's even
it keeps going. Yeah,
even before that, there
right
you
there.
go. See, it kind of It
Oh,
goes
shoot,
all
you
the way
could
to
see other people too. Oh, but it's way too far to know. You see
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. But see,
Uh-huh.
when you get closer, I think this seat is empty, whereas this person gets up. This could be the girl, or it could be, well, isn't this where Black would be in the center
He
here?
should be, but he's not
Oh,
there.
this is the girl right there. That's the old
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah, she's waiting with the hat.
Is this the Quidditch? Let me
Yeah.
look at. Oh yeah, that
Oh,
kind
I
of.
think Black is just covering the person who's sitting next to the
He
Quidditch.
is. Do you think they did that almost on purpose? He is blocking that person.
There's someone there.
He's
Like,
blocking this person right here,
yeah,
unless that
yeah.
is him in the first place, but he's blocking them.
I think it was just they were just composing it. I don't think it was on purpose.
You don't think they think it through as much as us weirdos online? Just
The-
kidding. Man, what a cool like. I actually never really stopped. Oh, wait a second. He's right there. Isn't that him?
I think that's Fig.
Oh,
He has a bald spot, and he.
how dare
he
you?
looks- I'm sorry. That. Oh.
Looks good. I mean, I've never actually stopped to look, like the candles and all the food. My God,
Yeah.
very deep. I mean, this is going to be a pretty epic
And I
class.
think, see, okay, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm making a map
Okay.
from the thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna come out soon. Then whoever wants to use it, use it. So I'm just reconstructing from this from the showcase. In so there looks like additional rooms
Yeah.
in the from the map because you can see sides added here. There looks
Yeah.
like additional rooms. Space.
Like on this, like far left over here, or you're talking like back where you can't see?
Well, because on the map we cannot see that. I think there could be something in the added space right here in the room,
Oh,
but
okay. Okay.
but before, like where we were, just like on the outside, that seems like just more
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
explorable something on the map.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, it's, you see, yeah, nothing happens. You just put it on. And I wonder, I don't know. I don't know if there's a person right there too. Man, oh man. I mean, thinking about like the professors today really got me excited because it's like, I don't know, the professors in Harry Potter like are some of my favorites. Like they really, I don't know if they make the world, they're just kind of an integral part of making it feel just, more alive, and they're these people that have such deep backstories, and you get the sense with that Hecat, or how do you say it again?
Hecat.
Hecat, I said it. Okay.
Hecat.
You
Yeah,
get the
you're right.
sense with her that, I mean, they're leaning into that. Like they are going to have pretty deep backstories, and they're all different ages and they come from different backgrounds. And there's so many different classes that Hogwarts teaches, and it's
Yeah,
just cool. And I like, them leaning into that quite a bit.
and you kind of then end up wanting to be them in a way
Yeah.
because they're
You
the
do.
mentors, kind. Like
Yeah.
different. They're more powerful. They know so much stuff. Yeah, you look up to them.
Yep.
I have
She's
a question,
go ahead. Go ahead.
a quick one, because I
Okay.
think I saw you tweet something or say something in the stream because I watched a little bit of you with James. Do you still think there will be swimming in the game?
Oh, okay. So I think, where you could you're not gonna be able to go underwater.
Okay.
So I don't think they'll be underwater. I feel like we have seen it, and yeah, I go back and forth if they'll be swimming in general. But people kind of got me in the comments where it's like, if you leave Hogwarts and you're just out, there's got to be pockets of water. You're not gonna make
And they
us
show
go
that, yeah.
around. I mean, going right through it would make sense. So
Yeah. I'm on the same kind of point. Like, yeah, you can. I think you will cross things by
Yeah.
swimming, but you're never gonna go like deep
Yeah.
underwater.
What's GOT? Game of Thrones? I don't know what else I want to answer Steph's question.
God of
Thunder.
Thor.
I won't mention Thor. No, Steph, if you just say it out loud next for if you want to do another comment. I like to read these because they make myself feel better. Just kidding. I really don't think I'm too negative. People
No,
get at me sometimes, but I think I've overwhelmingly said more positives about this game than I've ever said negatives in 4 years. So
yeah, I guess people could interpret in both ways, but especially because I feel like if it can come from a tweet, people can bend
oh yeah,
whatever
I
said.
tweet more wild. Like I
Right.
tweet kind of crazy.
And just in general, because you don't know how the person is saying something, you can think the person is yelling that, or is it with an angry intonation, or positive. You don't know that, so people just make up whatever they.
That's true.
think
I
it is.
lean into sarcasm heavily on Twitter,
Yeah.
and then when people don't get it, I just laugh. It's definitely Game of Thrones. I don't know how it would be Game of Thrones. There was Telltale's Game of Thrones, and that was a linear choose your own adventure game.
Oh yeah, there was one. I
It
think
was
there was.
bad. I did not like it.
I think it's on Game Pass, if I'm
Maybe
not wrong.
it. I mean it.
I've seen
I don't.
something like that.
Are you guys gonna play with a mini map on or off?
I will try off
Okay.
because I know Hogwarts from Order of the Phoenix. I know it.
Oh man. Oh yeah. I think for someone like you it would work. I'd want to try it off, and
Mhm.
also just because I like to see more of the screen than less of the screen, so I'd like it not there. But I don't know. I like getting location. I don't like to be. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I feel like I definitely would get lost, and I just wouldn't have my general sense of where I am. And I'd end
Mm.
up backtracking, and I'd be like, I just want to get these freaking quests. So.
Right. No, yeah, I
Oh,
think
Ghost
maybe
of Tsushima. God
Oh.
dang it. GOT. Ghost of Is that I believe the O is supposed to be lowercase. I think it's G lowercase O upper, but I could be wrong. Ghost. So Ghost took me. I platinumed that too. I think that took me 50 on the dot, or like 49. But again, the story is not that. There's a lot of side things to do in Ghost of Tsushima. Quite a bit. And there's also four characters actually. And again, like we heard the rumor that this game kind of took some inspiration from Ghost. And in Ghost, what I really like about those side characters is they move. So like they'll be stationary, you'll do a quest with them, it'll expand their story, and then their next quest line is in a different location, and you may not have unlocked that location, so you have to wait. You kind of have to play the game, then go to the next spot, and then you can play their next mission. So I like the idea with the like Sebastian. Say you meet him in one place, you play with him, and then his next quest, he moves as a character. You actually have to find him somewhere else in the world, and maybe you haven't unlocked that place yet. Maybe you have to
Maybe.
play
I
a
mean,
little bit
that
more.
would make sense because they
Yeah.
are students.
I like how Ghost did it. But Ghost, I don't know how long the main story, probably around, I think 20 to 30 hours is kind of a sweet spot for most open world games. Even again, like The Witcher is the higher end, but you don't get open world games with like a 40, 50 hour story. That's way too long, and they just don't do that.
Right.
Who called Ghost GOT? That's reserved for Game of Thrones. I'm telling you, the O is lowercase.
Okay. That abbreviation made me think of. Well, we already talked about it. No, not. It's in a different way. Do you think Hogwarts Legacy is gonna be at the Game Awards?
Oh, no. I actually
No.
don't. I've been the pioneer of asking if it's going to be at certain things for 4 goddamn years. And
That's true.
funny enough, I actually don't get the sense it's going to be there, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
I just feel like they've shown a lot, and they just did that showcase.
Yeah.
So
But they said there's going to be another one. Are they
That's
going to
true.
do
They
it?
did- yeah, they
Are
said
they
it's
going to
the
do it
first-
there? But no, they wouldn't take 50
yeah,
minutes.
Jeff
of-
only allows like 2 to 3 minute slices. I mean, they could do
Right.
another What are the trailer names that we actually have? Like, what are they called?
Sebastian's Dark. Hold on.
I think that's called gameplay, though. Let me look.
This one is called Gameplay Showcase.
This one's called Gameplay Showcase.
Then that's a rainy spring night, a hot summer day. That's ASMR.
Why can't I
There was a PS5 next gen immersion trailer. Then there's Sebastian Sallow's Dark Legacy, and Hogsmeade Haunted Shop Quest, I believe is the other one. How it's called?
Oh, see, Hogwarts Legacy. See, one of Hogwarts Legacy PlayStation exclusive Haunted Hogsmeade.
Okay.
Where's the freaking? See,
And
the one I downloaded. Okay, see, so the Sebastian one. If you download the official Gamescom one, it's called Hogwarts Legacy official gameplay trailer Gamescom. So that's a gameplay trailer. I don't consider it a gameplay trailer.
No, they're wrong.
Yeah,
they're wrong because if you download from Hogwarts Legacy's thing,
it's not called that.
No, it's called Sebastian Sallow's Dark Legacy.
Okay, so see what they could do then is do a gameplay trailer. That's kind of what I was hinting at, depending on what the names we have
Yeah.
of the trailers, because you can't do a launch trailer. You can't do a final trailer. I think it's too soon. You could do a gameplay trailer. It would be like
Yeah,
called officially.
because they have reveal trailer. They have official gameplay reveal.
Yes.
That's it's called Hogwarts Legacy State of Play official gameplay reveal.
Right. Yeah,
That
that's not a
was a state of play.
gameplay. Yeah, it would be literally called Hogwarts Legacy gameplay trailer. Something
There's
like
a word
that.
showcase in it. We
Yep.
we refer to the gameplay. We
Yeah.
just call it gameplay.
Right. Yeah. No,
Or
I
state of
think
play.
it's definitely possible, like for sure. And it just, I don't like, I don't know. I've said it so many times. Like, has it? Well, it did appear at Gamescom, which was a Jeff Keighley show. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
only appeared at one of his shows,
Which was a shocker for me, kinda, when it did.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, I just never. We've been asking the question for 4 years. I just assume it's never going to show up anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, we're just never going to get it. But
Right.
what do you think? Do you think it'll be there?
I feel like it might, because we are getting close to the release.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it seems like they're doing stuff on their own, like their showcase, and they keep
Yeah, they're going
posting
rogue,
stuff
man.
and ASMR. And I like that because they create currents on their own.
Yeah.
Whenever they want.
They don't need help. And we've
Yeah.
said that for a long time. You know, they don't need they don't need Jeff Keighley. They don't need PlayStation. Now they have a contract with PlayStation, but they don't like need them to create tidal waves of excitement. They can literally do another invite James or invite one of us, or do something, and they'll get the excitement. So no, it's a special thing. It's possible. I would take the under.
Okay.
Because I think we're starting to see there are some announcements that are like leaked or people are talking about that will be at Gamescom, and you can kind of figure out what the level is, and you can only do so many things, and there's too many things happening.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think is gonna who's gonna win? Elden Ring or God of War? There's gonna be the communication.
I think Elden Ring is gonna. It's not gonna sweep, but Elden Ring will probably win more awards than God of War. I think just. I like God. I mean, my style is more God of War than Elden Ring.
But what do you think? What it may is it gonna get more awards, but God of War is gonna get the Game of the Year?
Okay. Yeah, Game of the Year. No, I think Elden Ring will get Game of the Year. I just have a sense from these game journalists. I can read their minds.
Just because, I mean, it makes sense because it seems like it was an amazing game and it was
multi-platform. It just stuck around for so long. It sold so well. It's on more than PlayStation. Is not part 2 of a part 1. Those kind of things.
Right.
But my personal, I won't spoil it. God of War may not be my Game of the Year. Could actually be something else. But I'll tell you off. I'll tell you off the air what a very.
Is it game. Stray?
No. Stray is very. I love the atmosphere. Stray is a freaking cool atmosphere, and that game took forever. That game has been around for like 5 years. You can find footage of it from like 2017.
What? And it lasted five hours.
It took forever for them to make it. And it was like 5-hour game. Yeah. See, game development's hard, guys. But you know what? Animating Wizard's Chess isn't that hard. I know I just said Stray. Well, Ben, is there any other? You guys can let us know if there's any rapid fire questions. But Ben, if there's anything on your checklist there. But guys, give us like yes or no questions if you want to do like a rapid fire, and we'll answer them and we'll head out.
I don't know.
You don't have to carry it. We'll have the chat carry it.
Okay.
What's your final thoughts on Hogwarts before the chat gives us some yes or no questions?
Oh, it's freaking phenomenal. There's some spots where it looks so cinematic, like the moment when they go into the courtyard that just it blinds you like in real life, and then it opens and there's just fog. Like foggy, you have some
fog in the summer though. Did you catch that? I don't really.
No, I mean it happens like especially in that area in Scotland. In the morning you'll get fog because you have the body of water, and there's some texture in the air. Oh my god, I was so jarring to me.
It looked good. All right, we got some yes or no. Ready? We'll rapid fire this.
All right.
Okay. Oh no. The chat's moving. Do you think Fig will survive by the end of the game? Yes.
Sure.
There you go.
I hesitated there. I think he'll get.
I think like I said, I think other professors honestly could die though. Do you think Ravenclaw will play a part in the story? There's not really been a main character who's been a Ravenclaw. Harry, Newt, Voldemort, for example.
I think yes. Story to that part.
Same. Made any trips to Avalanche? No. I wanted to try to get. You know what I forgot to ask James, honestly, Ben, is Because I think we both caught it. They said first of. It's the first of these
They
gameplay shows.
did, and they
So,
did a tease. They said
yeah,
it looks there's going to be more. They
yeah,
showed more like a hippogriff flying on the
yep.
broom, hippogriff flying
I
on the
wish.
character flying on the hippogriff.
Yeah,
They showed some dueling with some NPCs, some enemies, and then rumor of requirement. So
yep.
I think
I
that kind
wanted
of
to
speaks
ask
for itself.
James. He wouldn't be able to answer it, but there's only two ways it can go. Number one, they will or have already contacted somebody else to do another one, in which case that person can't say. Or number two, James filmed multiple of those at the same time. And I didn't ask him that, and he's never said anything.
Ah,
I wonder if they did more than one with him. So the answer to the made any trips to Avalanche, I think I'm too
interesting.
controversial for them, so
Interesting.
I'll never be invited. But I do think there'll be more. Do you think Merlin will be evil? I really don't think Merlin's in the game.
I don't think either. I don't think Merlin is. I think he is a part of the lore and
Yeah,
backstory and history, but never. Yeah,
agreed. Agreed. A lot of loading screens. Uh,
we didn't
prob-
see any. They
we didn't
walked around.
see any, but
Well,
we didn't go into the Great Hall.
we did not. But also, well, he hesitated at the door opening, so those were the loading screens right
Right.
there.
Yeah, and that's totally fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, when you say it like that, honestly, I don't think there's that much like fast travel, but see, fast travel is going to be the issue. Like when you fast travel, those will all have to be
that will be.
some sort of loading. Yeah. The Black Lake Squid.
It wasn't a poster.
Yeah, but neither of us think you're going to be able to go in the depths. So you'll see it from maybe like Slytherin's thing, but I don't know if you'll be able to touch it.
I think it will be mentioned, but I don't think we're gonna see it ever.
Okay. Think we can use the Elder Wand? No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, oh man, that's tough. I could see them doing it. I could see them
Oh yeah, no,
using
no,
it.
no. Yes, Elder Wand. We can. Why? I'll tell you why. Because it's the only object that we don't know where it is in this timeline.
Oh,
In
okay.
this timeline, around this time, the wand has to belong to someone, and then Grigorovich has to come and steal, kill, or somehow get the wand from that person. So there's a gap. There's
Okay.
Did you see the Deathly Hallows symbol in this showcase?
No.
It's in Defense Against the Dark Arts. I made a video about it. It's it's the tiniest thing ever. But you remember Autodesk? It's a
Yeah.
Deathly Hallows in the
Oh,
roads.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
says here, and I'm not gonna say it, but apparently, because I didn't look in the trophies thing.
Oh yeah, there's leaks. There's spoilers and trophy. Yeah.
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 So
I won't touch them for the sake of the chat. I think well,
yeah.
you made a good pitch, and I think you're
Okay.
probably right.
Okay.
But then like our character would have to be killed off eventually, or
But we have no name that matters.
yeah, it
because
doesn't actually matter.
we
Alex,
they can kill us, they can shred us. No one
Yeah.
will know. We will never be recorded in the history.
Max level, I think it's 50. I'm pretty sure if you add the ability points, that's what it
I don't
gets
even
you.
know. I didn't think about it.
Andy and I looked through it when we did ours. I'm pretty sure that's I'm kind of cheating because
Okay.
I'm using the info I have, but
Okay.
hey guys, what have you missed? Quite a bit, but I don't take these videos down, so you can always watch it. Again, are you invited to the next showcase? No. Do you think we'll be able to see mermaids and a kraken? Is that how you say it, or does he mean kraken?
Kraken. I think A with an
I
A.
use A.
I use A.
Kraken.
En.
I love Pirates of the Caribbean, but I don't know how they spell it. Well, it's the same thing, honestly, as like the squid. I think, well, like you said, maybe you hear about it. I think maybe you see it at a distance, but you will not like get super close to it.
Yeah, no. Same. I'm same.
Multiple choices. 1 good, 2 you play as a villain, 3 you go random. Well, I think both of it. Well, I think the ending will be decided on 2 different choices, but like you said, they will not differentiate too badly. Like it'll come back around to something. So I'm in full agreement with you with that.
But also, I think as Chandler kind of projected that part where it's not your choices won't really lock you in being a villain or a
Right.
goody. You can be a jerk, you can use Avada Kedavra or whatnot, or you can just be mean to other NPCs, but it's not going to lock you as Voldemort of the game.
Yeah, the game doesn't keep track, which, and that's a decision. You either go kind of Mass Effect, Dragon Age, right, where the game knows what you're or Witcher, the game knows what you're doing, or it doesn't, and that's what they chose. I don't know if it's the right decision, but it is a decision. See a bit of London or another part of England before we arrive. Ooh,
I think yes. I think
you got to
yes.
arrive from somewhere, so
yeah, and we do because we arrive in the carriage.
Right. Yep. James mentioned there'd be another guest for. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, then there's hope, Ben. I mean, you're a very positive, like uplifting person, so
I would think they already contacted someone.
that's what I said. I said somebody should ask Retro because
I think either you or
I have not
Retro.
been.
Andy is in the UK, I think.
Andy wouldn't be because they fly. Yeah, they fly you down, so he wouldn't.
I mean, it's Warner Brothers. Maybe they could afford that.
How deep does Warner Bros. Pockets go for it? I think if you guys want to playfully, not spam or like attack, if you guys want to playfully go after Retro Raconteur and like ask, hey, have you checked your emails recently? He could be hiding a secret. I'll be honest. He's big enough. He's positive. He's got a good personality. He's not controversial like me. Yeah, I just feel like.
But I will also get off your back right away. But because I would assume if someone is, they would be under NDA. But
they wouldn't be. Yeah,
I think it's between you and Retro.
Well, thank you, and I wish it was me. Maybe one day. Another big bad. I petitioned for a third villain, but I also, I think
Poppy.
There you go. I think it's possible that they hint. I just don't know if it's like fully, in the game.
Yes, that is the. I think it was 1 or 90 because we get a shot of
September 1st, 1890 was the newspaper. So, yeah. My God. Well, the questions just keep coming, guys. Retro said he is not invited. Is he lying? I don't know how you can like double like your way out of it. I am not lying. Like I did not get an email. I feel like I'd almost break it by like immediately, almost on purpose. If I actually did get it, I'd say, yeah, we've asked Retro. He's denied it, but whoever's next is under NDA. Yeah, it's not.
I'd imagine like James. He didn't like. Well,
I think it's James's clone. Yeah, he created a second.
Or Sue. Yep. That this time around.
All right, we'll read this one and then we'll.
Hey, Age of Draws.
What? Yeah.
Age of Draws, the ones who did all the drawings.
This guy is talented beyond belief. If you guys have seen my Twitter and stuff, he is it just one guy or is it a group of people? I think it's just one. I'm pretty sure he's just one person, and he created us multiple times. And all of it. Ben's in it. I'm in it. Retro, and it just looks so freaking good. I think Retro used it as his profile for his
on Twitter. Yeah, he does. I mean, I'm thinking about switching my profile soon because it's kind of whatever it is.
I gotta stick with I don't mean it as any disrespect. I gotta stick with my logo.
But hey, we should do some animation because I mean if that could be done, like little animated series. If you're up for something, we're into film. Hey, talk to me.
We gotta do a Kickstarter. I've seen other people do like an animated, like small episode thing. So all right, last thing.
Because we can do filmmaking stuff, but I cannot draw at all because that's not in my code. I can play piano, act, and do other stuff. But
we each have our very specific talents that don't really cross over. You gotta get help. Everybody needs help. Do you think the Gobstone kid counts as a companion? No. As Retro pointed out, a relationship milestone upon finishing his quest, meaning there could be more students like this. Well, I think they could give you something when they're done, or if there's multiple levels where if it's it was a girl, right? It was the little girl. So I think something like that would be like you find 10, you bring it back to her, you get something, and then she's got multiple levels where you could bring her 20, 30, and keep going. And she'll keep giving you stuff. But that's her whole I really don't think her character goes beyond you handing in.
Plus, she's like a minor, specifically her.
Yeah, she's like 11.
Yeah.
So that's the thing to Yeah, that's the thing to remember. Yeah, you're just one very talented person, good sir.
Just one. Well,
Um,
great job.
yeah, no, he
Oh
did
my god, I
awesome.
love your dog. He's wearing a little coat
Oh yes, yes.
for
I
her.
got my well, she's got the elf thing, and
Oh,
then I have a Westie behind me, and she has a Santa thing, and we
aw.
took it off of her, but yeah, we're representing for Christmas.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys haven't subscribed to Benjamin Snow, I don't know what you're doing with your life, to be honest with you, but his at symbol is in the description. Click it, go to his channel, subscribe. It's been a I would say pleasure. That's too formal. It's been a blast. It's been a lot of
It's
fun
been
talking to you, man. So, any last thoughts or things to say? But thank you, for being here.
Thank you. Well, it was as it was blessed. I can continue talking. This is a perfect time. I feel like I like just overall, I'm getting more and more excited about the game because we're now in Thanksgiving era, Christmas, New Year's, and then boom, that's the game. That's gonna be the new year of that
Yep.
year.
Yep, it's nuts that like when you turn the
Yeah.
calendar, and I've said this before, like the review codes and stuff you imagine is like late January. Like
Oh my
it's like
god.
when you get to January 1st, it's game time. You're if you think about it like this, once New Year's, you're in the month that people will have the game because at the end of January, some people will have it. So
Oh
it's
my
nuts to
god.
think about that we're that close.
And that's gonna be dangerous because, for example, like
Oh, very dangerous.
right now, like I've been not paying attention to God of War Ragnarok since like September
Yeah.
or like late August because like I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I want to just experience on my own. And then I'm coming like people now get these leaks with the trophies and someone probably going to do reviews. Where do we fall in? Do we still get into that or just say it's a
So
spoiler or
yeah,
whatever? I don't know.
like I find myself in a very odd spot because so like where my strategy is like I'm not gonna say it out loud what I saw in them.
Uh-huh.
Somebody did spoil it in the chat for the Jameses, but we kind of like muted the person for a little bit. But
Okay.
the issue is, yeah, with these trophies out 3 freaking months before the game, there will like people are gonna spoil it. Maybe not even on purpose, but people will spoil it and that's a big I don't know who made that decision or should be fired, but that's a big one. But then yeah, from us, well, here's the thing. I only got one person that said this, so this is not like everybody, but one person that said like, "Oh, everything you say from now on is kind of like skewed because you've seen the trophies. So like now I can't listen to you because that." And I'm like, "Well, firstly, if you think that, like Retro, he saw the whole thing too.
Mhm.
James saw most of it, or he saw at least
I
like
didn't watch it.
you,
Someone told me about the
yeah, the
Deathly
thing.
Hallows, and so like, okay, well, I know this now.
Yeah. Yeah, so my approach is just I'm not going to say anything. I do think the trophies are an outline of what's going to happen, but I think there's a lot of gray that that can still
Okay,
happen
okay,
that
because I don't know that is it dangerous to go there? It's very
yes, no,
spoilery?
it's very dangerous to go there.
Okay, then I
Yeah,
probably
well,
won't.
some people say it's not really filled with spoilers. I think it is, and I think you can infer other things that will or won't be in the game based off the trophies. So I think you got to
Ah,
do a little brain stretch, but I do think you can figure more stuff out. But yeah, like I said, I don't like that person. It was just one person. I'm not making like saying everybody said it, but other creators saw it. Lots of people, some of the smaller streamers I did the thing with, they all saw it. So people know. So it is hard if you want actually Ben is the person to go to. If you want somebody who has no clue about the trophies and is
I
going
have
at
no clue.
blind, Ben is
I
your
have no
guy.
clue.
Stop watching James, me, Retro because you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So, but that's silly. That was just one
yeah.
person. But yeah.
But
All
even
right.
over
Well,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
well, a
Go,
couple
go.
things to throw in as promotion. Number one, selfishly, just for me, a promotion. Tomorrow, I'll be live streaming kind of like a Thanksgiving thing. It'll just be
Oh,
me,
cool.
and it's on any game. It's not just Hogwarts. So that's tomorrow. And then Ben will return. Yeah, that's the title of this video. I'll have to come get creative, but we're planning, that epic big live stream with a bunch of creators. So we'll get more details on that soon. And then, yeah, we'll probably do a part 3 of the solo tour towards when the game comes out. We got a
Yeah.
lot of things
Oh my
planned, but
god. Or
I
play
always love talking to
together.
what?
Yes. Or play together.
Play together. Yep. There's a lot we can do. And I honestly love talking to you, man. And we have a lot
Same
of
here.
fun, doing this. So this will not be, the last time Ben's on the channel. And I know you got a lot of support. You were the person, I think I started with James first, like the very first person of the group. But you had like the most people that said, like, hey, talk to him, talk to him. You had the most people that said it. So
I appreciate it. I
people like
appreciate
you a
it.
lot. All right, guys. Troy will be back too. Troy probably
Oh,
after the
yes.
game launches
Oh, yes,
was the deal. But I have a surprise, and I'm not going to say what the surprise is, but there's a surprise for the creator stream that we're all going to do, and I'll leave it at that. I'll tell you maybe after, but I got some stuff there too. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Happy early Thanksgiving to the English folks and all that stuff. Wife wants a wizard doesn't talk to me, so I can't ask him anything.
Oh.
He doesn't ever respond. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you, Ben, so much for being here, man. Make sure you guys are subscribed to him, and we'll see you all on the next one.
Bye.